Okay, say hello.
Cool.
Hello, internet people.
Hello, Internet.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to the murder of many Cambodian children.
There we go.
No, we use them for
Right.
our soldiers.
Yeah, the ones we don't
right.
kill, we recruit.
Oh, all right.
No,
this
not
is a
even
new
joking.
development.
Seriously, Trey has like 20 child soldiers at her fucking compound.
All right, then.
Welcome, everyone. It's great to have you here, and great to see you here for another episode of Siamese Serpents, Shadowrun campaign set in the backwater city of Siem Reap within Cambodia in Southeast Asia. We have just cleaned up a nightclub, the Pyramid nightclub. We were pursuing one of our rivals, Chef, a cybernetic drug dealer. But after assaulting his stronghold, we discovered that he wasn't there. Not only was he not there, we kicked the ass of a few goons, some gunmen, and some meatheads, some more cyber martial artists. It was chaotic. There were a few customers, mostly prostitutes, but also a handful of old white guys and old Asian guys who are using their services of these prostitutes. They got caught in the crossfire. There were only a handful of injuries and no fatalities, but it was still a violent encounter. It probably wasn't even our bullets that hit them, but they did get hit, and that's really what matters.
I think I ran over two on the dance floor.
We ran over.
Oh, that's right. So we did kill a few. We literally ran over a romantic pair. One important aspect, though, that shouldn't be overlooked is how thorough we were in preventing their electronic transmissions. And I want to dwell on this just a moment because, yes, we neutralized their communications. Great idea. Yes, we gathered all of their recording data, all of their hard drives or whatever else they might store visual camera images on. Yes, so we've got all that data, but there's a catch. And that catch isn't that surprising for those of us who've been around for a while, because the catch is that our data is infected. It's infected by something or someone. There's an entity in our data, and it's an entity that we've come across before. It's an entity that we can't seem to escape. But it's an entity that seems a lot more capable than what it ever demonstrates. This cybernetic virus or this agent, well, whatever you want to refer to it as, this program which has lodged into all of the data has been in pretty much every comlink we've come across so far. We've tried purging it, and that's been pretty effective. But it's like there's a million copies of it in this country. And so we have the data, and it didn't get distributed, it didn't get broadcast, we own it, but that infection is still in all of the data, so the infection has it as well. The infection looks like Humphrey Bogart, which is a very handsome infection, if you ask me.
Can I make a check while I'm thinking about it? I have let me double check exactly what it is, but I have a matrix skill, and basically Godfather's at this point wondering, is this thing some kind of like a sprite? Just based on what he knows of it, if that checks out.
Sure. I can't think of what the appropriate role would be.
I just have knowledge matrix.
Sure, that works. Knowledge matrix.
I have a feeling. Can a matrix perception check tell you that?
I think that would be kind of appropriate. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of scared to like actually fuck with this thing though, because it seems capable of
it does
doing more harm to me than I could to it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna hold off until I got the million to buy an agent or two, I think, to back me up. Yeah, no dice on the matrix check.
All right. So yeah, you'll have to speculate. But if it is an agent or a sprite or something else, it's like nothing you've ever seen before. Perhaps it's experimental.
Yeah. Is there anything we need to resolve, or can I ask some
I don't think
questions
so.
about the data we recovered?
Yeah, no, I'm. But we can retcon and go back, and you can go. Oh, look, I wanted to grab an extra bottle of whiskey from the bar, but we've already done all of that. So
Do we
I
want
don't
to
think that.
interrogate any of these goons?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I got to keep that monkey under sedation so we can make it into Fenway's next pet.
Oh, that's right. We captured the monkey. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, I hit it with the cyberware scanner. Like, is it enhanced or anything? Or was it just a fucking
No.
badass?
It's not it has no cybernetics. No, unlike the ties, the monkey who is Indonesian has no. He's not a monkey. He's an orangutan, but he has no cybernetics.
All right then. Also, what's the format for just the dice that we roll and the framing for just everything?
I don't understand the question.
Oh, right. So Godfather just rolled. What is that? Like
the
8,
macro?
9 dice.
It's, if you want to do it manually, it's /R, however many d6, greater than sign, and 5, and it'll auto count hits.
Alright,
There's
then.
also a bunch of macros on the character sheets.
Okay, that's good to hear. All right. The character sheets are going to be on. Are they on Roll20 or are they in the Discord?
They're on Roll20. There's a free sheet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look under runners. There's a thing that says Asiga Tharip. You can take that one and alter it.
Okay.
It's a fairly complex character sheet, though. It's too complex for me, and I don't use the bloody things. So you might need a tutorial from the other players just to work out how to interpret it.
All right. Huh. That is a lot of stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So for today's session, I recommend just using the /R, and then like 76, for example. But yeah, the way Pelgrad's done it there with the greater than 5 sign will show you how many successes that you get. So that's probably the easiest way to do it. And just fill in the character sheet during the week and worry about it later. That'd be my suggestion.
All right then.
So we cleared out of here?
Yeah, by all means. There's no reason to stick around if you don't want to. You've got the orangutan. Presume you take it back to the compound. I guess you don't take it back to the hotel because pets aren't allowed. Here we are back at the compound, and you pass the emergency services on the way. First comes dock wagon, multiple dock wagons. There's only 2 of them in the campo in the city, but they send them both out. And then comes the police wagons as well at a more leisurely pace. So we arrive back at the compound, and it's only lightly guarded by a handful of Ares soldiers, I suppose the word. Aries police officers. I don't know what the term is, and of course our army of child soldiers.
Trey will begin handing out learners booklets and candy to the child soldiers.
They're absolutely delighted. Like if you've ever seen Christmas among a really poor community, you know, kids that have no fathers, that aren't getting any presents, that didn't celebrate their birthday, and so you've got this lineup of children just waiting for their prize, which in this case is bullets.
And I
candy.
had them buy a bunch of school learners while they were in Bangkok.
Oh yeah, like leapfrog pads.
Yeah, exactly. But I make them like do the mantra. Who do we hate?
Communists.
Who are the worst people in the world?
They're not sure if the answer is Russians or Chinese, but I'll just go with communists because that sounds right.
Yep.
The answer is both.
Hooray! They get 2 pieces of candy now.
Yep.
Huzzah! And this is how we buy the loyalty of the impoverished child soldiers.
And they learn shit.
And they learn shit. That's right. They increase their intellect by 1.
And I will show them monkey.
Oh, they think the monkey is cool? The monkey hates them in return.
I will show them how to pour shots of whiskey for the monkey.
The monkey is growing a little. It gets more belligerent as it gets drunk, but it also kind of gets more compliant as well. Like a drunk that sits at the bar and rants and raves, but never actually does anything about it. You do discover that the monkey has a nicotine addiction.
And that's how I'll teach kids to bribe the monkey.
That's how we bribe the monkey. We give him cigarettes.
It's the only way.
It really is.
I guess Godfather will commence with repairs on his vehicle because he got pretty banged up driving it through the fucking wall.
You find like a chunk of scalp with hair still attached.
That'll go in the biomed waste.
All right.
What, you need any money for that? So you sort of like wrecked your car to like save my character?
Usually repairs don't cost anything if you do them yourself, but I may need parts. It's Arctic's call.
There's enough parts in the compound, you know, spare tires and rims and bull bars. There's bits of junk here everywhere because it is a junkyard. It'll mean that your vehicle might look a little silly as you rip off the bumper bar of a Jeep Discovery, but as long as you're not too concerned about aesthetics, indeed you might enjoy the aesthetics because it gives you a real Mad Max feel to mix and match your car parts.
Yeah, it already looks like a pretty Frankenstein fucking vehicle.
Yeah, it doesn't even have a windscreen.
It's all been
more of a
armored
tank.
over.
Yeah.
It looks like somebody made an APC like by themselves. It looks like that vehicle that one guy went on like the bulldozer rampage with.
Ah, what a legend! Nothing but respect for that guy. Only destroyed government property, I think, that fella. Didn't actually harm anyone.
No, he destroyed personal property as well, and
Did he?
the only reason he didn't kill anyone is because he was driving a bulldozer and it was really slow, and they managed to vacate the buildings before he actually destroyed them. But he was trying to kill people.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
That's supposition.
Sounds like commie propaganda. I refuse to believe it. He's an anarcho-capitalist hero.
He was also shooting high-powered rifles at people.
Well, you would too. So there. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Yeah, it takes a couple
All right.
hours, and also gotta physically patch myself up in my biofeedback.
Yeah, no worries. And yeah, so time is on our side. We've put the Khmer Rouge well and truly on the back foot at this point. And it becomes a question of what comes next.
So we're going to interrogate one of the goons from the bar to find out where Chef is, possibly.
Yeah. That's up
Did
to you
any
guys. We
survive?
can put them in the cooler. I don't think so, actually.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if any of the gunmen even survived. Like, I'll take us back.
I knocked one out in that side.
You knocked one out? Good enough for me. Okay, cool. So you've got one. His name is Cham. Not that you care, but his name is Cham. He had like a 9mm pistol, a relatively small automatic weapon. That was a Scorpion, wasn't it? Little machine pistol, which is not much better than the 9mm automatic pistol. Just fires the bullets faster. He's terrified, absolutely terrified. He doesn't speak a word of Khmer.
Just Thai.
Just Thai. And Japanese and English. But Thai is his native tongue.
Trey speaks Thai.
He's willing to cooperate in any way that you want. If you want to have sex with him, he's ready. Like, you name it, he's ready for it.
What do you guys want to know?
I suppose where the chef is.
The farm.
I'll ask.
He tells you that the
Which
chef
farm?
is at the farm. They're all at the farm. The farm. The crocodile farm. The farm. He's sorry. He didn't mean to use that tone. The crocodile farm. He gives you the rough directions, but I'm pretty sure that you might know them already. We've never investigated the farm, but we've heard about it.
We followed a vehicle there once.
Right. I thought that we knew where it was. So yeah, it's a big place. It's a wildlife park. We call it a crocodile farm. That's indeed what it is. But they don't just have crocodiles. They've got exotic birds and bloody popcorn stands and car parks. It's really a zoo, is what it is. But because they
too, wasn't it?
Sorry.
I think it was pretty fortified too, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it's quite fortified, and if you go back again, or if you send a drone, or whatever, you'll discover that it's even more fortified this time. They've got like 50 soldiers patrolling it, which is a lot less than the airport had, but a lot of them are trolls. They appear to be a lot more. They're not the child soldiers that we faced at the airport. They're of a higher threat rating.
What's the chef doing there? Like, is he just holding up, or like, what's the strategic value of the farm?
He doesn't know how to put it. They are waiting for you. They have a plan. He doesn't know what the plan is. He knows that they intend to attack a particular location within the Siem Reap, and they've been intending to do that since before you guys turned up. But they've been thwarted by it. But they still intend to continue with that plan if they get the chance. So, according to his very limited amount of information, he thinks that they're waiting for you to come to them so that they can feed you to the crocodiles. But if you don't act fast enough, they'll engage the plan that they'd always intended to engage, but haven't had a chance to.
Hospital sounds like, because that was like they were originally prepping to do that, and then we came and
they were
really started fucking the shit up.
Now he said they're all at the farm. Who's them all? Like chef, obviously. Who else?
He tries to think. Death roll. He says as if you should know exactly who that is. He tries to think who else is there. Mahout. And he thinks that they're being joined by someone again, but they don't know who. So there's already Death Roll, Mahout, and the chef, and they're bringing in more people like you guys. He doesn't use the word Shadowrunners, but they're bringing in more Shadowrunners to reinforce the plan.
Tell me more about Death Roll.
Death Roll, he is Crocodile Man.
Shaman?
He doesn't know. All he knows is that he's very scary and
Does he look
a
like a
big,
crocodile?
heavy-duty crocodile man.
Sounds like a surge or something like that.
Surge, yes, Surge. He thinks Surge Troll, but he really doesn't know shit.
All right, so Killer Croc from Batman, basically.
Yeah. Or from maybe Ninja Turtles. There was a lumberjack or something. There was a croc in that too.
All right, who was the other
Tell me
guy?
more about Mahout.
Mahout controls the elephants. He is that's his job to work with elephants. He lost Jupiter, but Jupiter is back. They recaptured Jupiter.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds like that may be a shaman, like some kind of animal thing, like Fenway.
Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe, but elephant will do what he says.
Yeah, possibly. They're genetically enhancing the elephants. It could just be a biotech guy as well.
Also possible.
Either way, I think Fenway might be helpful there with his Duke of the Elephants.
I think you enjoyed last
Can we
time I
call
called
that
him.
guy up again?
He says that Killingfield's not there. Killingfield's still in Bottom.
What about Long March?
Long March. Yes. She is Cyber coming. She is the one coming back. Yes.
How
But
are they
not
coming
there now.
back?
But coming. Yes. Coming back with new wear. Because you kill her, but now she comes back.
How are they getting back here from Russia? We control the
Walking.
airport.
I don't know. I don't know.
She walks. She walks everywhere by the sounds of it.
So all we got to do to get rid of her is get her to like redeploy somewhere that's like a 3-month walk away.
Vladivostok ain't close.
Okay.
She had a
so
bike.
We can either.
We recovered a bike last time we were there.
Yeah, that's a valid point. Yeah, it seems unlikely that she would laterally walk 3,000 kilometers. That does seem like a.
She doesn't like air travel though for some reason. Like
That's quite the Shadowrun floor. I will walk every.
Yeah.
I don't like air travel either. After I saw what Mako did to those fucking jets in the sky, I wouldn't trust air travel anymore either.
What was the plan for you guys at the club? Like, clearly there's some kind of ambush planned with the live streaming. What was all that about?
I don't know. I think they want to embarrass Thailand. I think they want to make it look like the army has no control. They want to lose face. Lose face.
I see.
Yeah.
So you're clearly not a local.
No, I'm from Bangkok.
What are you doing working security in the pyramid?
I have been summoned here because I work in Bangkok. I do security and other jobs in Soy Cowboy and in Bangkok City. But now I come here because I am told to do so. It's my job.
So Chef was Thai too, wasn't he?
Yes.
Job was running security for the Khmer Rouge.
Yeah. He sort of winces with a bit of lack of confusion, as if he understands that this doesn't make a lot of sense, because it doesn't make a lot of sense to him either. But yeah, here I am, some capitalist Thai gunman, gangster, and I've been like redeployed to protect a commercial asset that belongs to a communist regime in a foreign country. Yeah, that's pretty fucking convoluted.
Does the
But
pyramid not belong to the Khmer? Doesn't the pyramid belong to Chef? Is he employed?
well,
by the
yeah,
Khmer or by
that's
Chef?
right. No, it belongs to Chef, but of course, you know. So yeah, so no, but that's a good point, because the way he puts it, you know, I'm working for the Khmer Rouge, but as you've just said, well, not really, are you? You're actually working for Chef.
So he was hired by Chef, though. I'm assuming, like Chef's hired him for security. Told him to come.
He's always, yeah, he's always worked for Chef, and he just got pulled in here by the chain of command. Yeah.
Long March turned up, gave him an order, and Chef gave him an order. Whose order would he follow?
Oh, he doesn't know who Long March is, just by reputation. I would do anything Chef says.
Okay, so sounds like Chef, though. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
If the Supreme Leader gave you an order and Chef gave you a conflicting order, which order would you follow?
Who has a gun to my head?
Us.
I will follow you.
Tell us about Chef shares in Evo.
Chef has shares in Evo? That is why he is so rich.
I judge intentions if that is genuine surprise.
Yeah, go ahead. He hasn't. He's answered everything snappily so far.
Yeah, figured. All right. Well, that's about all I got for him, I think, boys.
Give me a second. I want to roll the intentions as well. There's my dice, but there.
Was
Should
that
be
a question?
macro
Sorry?
in your main sheet.
Right.
He's looking up the judge intentions macro, I think.
Right.
I'm gonna edge that.
All right. And what were you trying to understand?
I was judging intentions on him as well.
Oh, his intention is to live. Imagine that. His intention is to do whatever you want. Like I know it was probably an inappropriate thing to say, but this guy is ready to do anything. Right? You name it, he'll do it.
Yeah, the guy is literally just spilling anything we want to know. Got it.
Oh, absolutely. Like did you see what you fucking did in the pyramid? Because he did.
Is he willing to donate to
drove-
Wikipedia?
He had a
drove
one-on-one
through
with
the
an orc in a
fucking-
private room.
Oh man, can you imagine like those 2 or 3 minutes of chaos? You're just sitting around. Some hardheads try to get through security. There's a bit of an issue, but they get through. All right, you know that's unusual. But then all hell breaks out, and that's before the tank drives through the freaking wall and runs over the dancers and steals the ninja monkey. You know, I've seen some shit. Yeah, maybe it was 30 seconds. If he blinked, he might have missed it. Yeah, it was brutal. Like 700 rounds were fired in that minute. So yeah, the guy is terrified and compliant and trying to be helpful.
Got it. All right. I'm done with him.
All right, bullet time, bang.
Well, hey, do we want to let him go and see if we can't, like, if he goes back to Chef and offers Chef an out? At this point, yeah, I mean, Chef might take it.
Or the shot. Send him as a messenger. Yeah, because Chef seems to be of a business mind, and well, we have the option to rain hellfire on that compound.
Well, I mean, that's what, yeah, just tell Chef it's not fucking personal. And if he fucking ducks out, we're not going to come looking for him.
I approve. Anybody object?
I mean, I think he'll still be like loyal as long as it's profitable.
Well, that's what,
So I
but
think
look at it.
we need to make it like not profitable before we give him like the offer.
I don't, we've done
I think he's
pretty
making
good
much
fucking
money
job.
trapped in the crocodile pen.
And we just took his drug lab and the way out.
Yeah, I think it's
We-
pretty
and we
clear
just-
to him. Yeah, the Khmer Rouge has not been a profitable business relationship.
Well, just what? It's been, what, 6 weeks? And we took their means of transport, their food supply, and his main source.
Yeah.
Oh, and we took their fucking... I forgot, we're in the fucking compound. So we took away a bunch of their technical expertise.
Yeah. Their industry, their food supply, their army, their airport, their trains. Yeah, like as you say, it's been a busy month and a half, and we've crippled them. We've practically driven them out of the city to the point where they have a single base left and they're holding up in there. We could just, if only we had an atom bomb, we could just drop it on the farm and be done with it.
I don't think we've really taken their food supply. We killed a guy and blew up a boat. They're still people fishing. They're probably still.
Yeah, fair call.
And I'm pretty sure Godfather has napalm. Like, there's no doubt.
But
I do not actually. There is no napalm in this game. It sucks. I figure I can just make my own at the time called.
Oh yeah.
He said a bomb, like an atomic bomb. And isn't the plane atomic powered?
A bombs don't really work in Shadowrun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The planet doesn't let them work.
Yeah, there is a nuclear engine in the plane, like the old Cessna had a nuclear engine. Yeah.
I mean, just put a fucking control rig on it, slap it full of fucking explosives, and fucking fly it into the fucking alligator farm.
I mean, something equally as effective that doesn't destroy my vehicle. We have a bunch of fucking mortars. We can just set up outside their range and bombard the living shit out of the compound, run the airplane over, strafe anything still alive with the heavy machine.
You're obviously not suggesting this in front of the mook, though, are you? Like, you're not discussing your tactics in front of the guy that you're about to send back. Yeah.
No,
we can give them a bunch of fake information.
Yeah.
We can tell them about, we can discuss in front of him how for the last 6 months we've been fucking having our guy fucking crack farm feed those fucking remote control explosives to the fucking crocodile. So all the big ones there should be already wired up.
Your call there. I'm not exactly the clandestine type socially.
I mean, I guess my character probably has the highest con, but like he's not that good at it either.
Well, I mean, we could send him back with the message, and this we will not discuss in front of him. Giving Chef the out and telling him that if needs help getting out, to just contact the cell of guys we already have. That way, if he doesn't defect, they'll still be looking for a fucking traitor in their midst.
Yeah, it works. We either offer him an out, or say if he's being held captive or some reason he can't leave, he can get in touch with our men there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we give Mook the message, like, hey, if you take off, we're not going to be down. If you need help taking off, just contact our guys that are already there. If he takes the offer, he's going to be able to get out himself because he's fucking badass. If he doesn't take the offer, now he's going to be fucking paranoid as shit as to who our guys on the side are.
Just muted yourself.
Well, yeah, I was done talking.
Yeah, I get the plan there.
Yeah. You go ahead and do that. Yeah, we'll record a message, send a chef, and pretend to this guy like we got guys on the inside, so hopefully he'll spill it.
Like I said, we're either chef defect, awesome, or they're going to be tearing apart the fucking profit. Figure out trade.
Yeah, it works.
Actually, imply that it's the fucking Thai government that implanted the other guys.
Or like our Thai friends with like the group.
No, like the Thai government. Try to imply that the whole reason we've been so successful is because we've had inside people the entire time.
Yeah, just like if you need help, our Thai friends inside the compound would be able to assist you. You know, they've been very helpful thus far.
Not necessarily Thai, but the agents of the Thai government.
I mean, I think that'll be inferred.
I don't. We've let them try to fucking interrogate people before.
No, I mean, I think he'll infer that. Okay.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, you get the gist, Fenway. I mean, this is a long shot anyway. Even if it doesn't take, who cares?
And the thing is,
Well,
we
yeah,
should just
so no
ask
cost.
who are your agents, and then
Just give them the look. Like,
yeah,
you'll
they'll
know.
find you.
Okay, what was this guy's name again?
Mook. No, Cham. Cham Mook. All right.
I guess
Maybe we should bring in. Keep going. Keep going.
I was going. So shall I try it now then? Okay, so Mr. Mook, is that your name?
Cham. Yeah.
So I mean, me and my friends, we know you're not loyal, so why don't you just work with us? We can get you out of the country if you do something for us.
Yes.
Yeah, we need you to go to Chef and offer him the same deal that we're offering you to defect from the country, and we won't hunt you down. How does that sound?
It sounds fatal. I will be killed.
I mean, why shouldn't we? I mean, if you don't accept, we'll just kill you here, won't we?
Oh, I accept.
And don't think about betraying us. We have enough friends within the compound who will find you if you decide to betray us.
Okay. Okay.
You want? We can beat the shit out of you.
And,
Make you
I
look
take-
like you didn't
and at this point,
steal.
he just turns to the like, "Oh, how was that? How did I do?"
Great,
Did I do the
Fenway.
thing?
You're an expert. No, serious
Yeah.
offer. You want?
Yeah,
We
have a
can
cookie.
give you a black eye or some shit. Make it look like we had to beat the shit out of you.
If
give Redway a
if
biscuit.
I don't think we need that.
Your call.
Okay.
I will take a needle, and right before we let him go, I'll kind of grab him by the side of the head, jab the needle real quickly into the side of his neck.
All right.
I'll give him a pat on the side of the shoulder, like just in case he's about running off.
What did you do?
Hey, it'll only explode if you don't talk to Chef.
Make a
And
deception. Make a deception check with an extra 3 dice because he's inclined to believe you.
You absolutely would do
Oh, all right. He's not entirely convinced, but he's convinced enough. You know, on the odds of is there an explosive device in my neck or not, being wrong is not going to be too bad as long as he errs on the side of caution. All right. So Cham's ready to walk out to the farm, or you can give him a vehicle, or you can keep interrogating him. He's your man now.
Yeah. I'll remotely send the pickup truck to drop him off, I guess.
No, don't do that. Let's just buy one of those little fucking shitty scooters.
A tuk-tuk?
Like the one with the little fucking bicycle, like the single cylinder. Like something that it would be
Like a growler or
believable that
some
he
shit.
might have fucking just knocked someone off. He just sped away with it.
Yeah, no worries. Your AR feed is constantly being barraged by people trying to sell their tuk-tuks and their bicycles and their mopeds because business is bad at the moment, and these people haven't had work for a couple of months now. So they're at the point where they have to sell their motor vehicles just to buy rice for their families. So yeah, there's a lot of these simple vehicles on your AR feeds constantly going at a cheap price. You can get one for 150 million if you want.
I will.
Yeah.
Then I'm
no
gonna
worries.
put a bullet fucking side of the and shoot off the mirror, make it more believable.
He drives off like a dog with its tail between its legs.
Does that look about right?
Yes, absolutely. All right. So we put that plan into motion. Shall we introduce a new character? Or is there things you still need to discuss with each other?
Character.
Might be. Or maybe the monkey is. I'm not sure.
I mean, can't we have both?
Honestly, I feel like the monkey as a new character would be pretty dope.
Hell yeah.
Cyber Surge Monkey.
Sam.
That would be a great way to intro the character, like the Kung Fu Monkey just spontaneously surges into a sentient being.
And hey, if believability is the name of the game,
Exactly. All right. We'll flick over to query then, and we'll start with a bunch of questions. You don't have to have the answers ready. You can make them up on the spot. Nothing wrong with that. And as we explore your background and how you came to be in this hellhole. First of all, what nationality are you? Do you belong to a corporation? Were you born in a specific country? Yeah. Do you have a SIN?
I've got a corporate limited SIN,
Yep.
and and it's for Evo.
Excellent. So you're an Evo citizen. What country, continent did you come from? Evo, like all the corporations, has branches everywhere, but they're based out of Vladivostok. They used to be based out of Japan, but they're now based out of the eastern coast of Russia.
I'm thinking either Probably not Seattle. Probably yeah. All right. How does is there such a thing as dual citizenship in this, or
Never actually known that.
Uh,
Can you be a
you can
corporate citizen?
you can be usually when you become a corporate citizen, it's because you were born with like a national sin and like gave it up to join the corporation. If you were say like an Evo employee living in Seattle though, like you'd be from Seattle, but you could still be an Evo citizen because you'd be living in
Yeah.
like a essentially Evo embassy
Yeah.
in Seattle.
all right then? And if you get the corporate sin like because of your family, like your parents are both
Born,
uh, right
Yep.
then.
Yeah, so you can come from Seattle, but yeah, as Neo suggested, you were born in an Evo hospital. You went to an Evo school. Yeah, your parents work for an Evo subsidiary and so on. Okay, cool. Seattle's a very Shadowrunner orientated city. It's an enclave, really, unto itself, an enclave of the United Canadian American States that is surrounded by Native American territories. How did this experience of being in such a unique city, how did that shape you as a person?
Hmm. That's a very good question.
Were you exposed to lots of crime? Did you see lots of street violence? Do you have a favourable or unfavourable view of government or corporations due to what you witnessed? Those sort of queries.
I think that he actually had like a somewhat decent start in life and just kind of kept that up thanks to the corp.
Yeah.
So he stayed middle class for most of his life, and he just decided to not decided to maybe the corp was just like, hey, we have an overseas business opportunity, so just do that.
Cool. So you're quite naive then going into this job?
Um, I mean, I guess as far as yeah, for the most part, naive, yes.
Yeah. All right. Okay, cool. So you've come from Seattle. You lived a middle class lifestyle. Did you face discrimination for being a deer-headed freak?
I'm gonna say yeah, but I think that I was also pretty enough to not actually have people mean it all that much. Just kind
Oh
of
my god!
probably just an interpretation of jealousy, just like, oh, look at this glamorous motherfucker, him walking around.
Look, humans, man, they'll have sex with anything.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Are you a stag or a doe? Male or
Stag,
female?
stag.
Yeah.
Like, definitely got some. He's got like some boyish, somewhat feminine charm, but definitely a stag.
Cool. All right. So they fly you first into Bangkok, which is one of the most modern cities in the world. In fact, it's a lot like Seattle. A lot like Seattle. It's kind of an enclave unto itself. Even though it's surrounded by Thailand, it's still Bangkok is a world apart from the rest of Thailand. It's a highly industrialized, technologically advanced city surrounded by rice farmers and jungle and extreme poverty. So you land in this contradictory space, much like Seattle, rampant with crime, rampant with racism, but also full of economic opportunities and great nightclubs as well. A great place to spend your teens. Probably not a great place to retire. You don't spend much time in Bangkok, but you do have like 5 days here to kill. What do you do during your 5 days in one of the most vibrant cities in the world?
Probably just going to, well, for one thing, just gotta go sample the nightclubs.
Oh man, sex is everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
The nightclubs are practically a porno in still motion. Most of the women here are prostitutes, and those that aren't have to put up with the fact that most of the women are prostitutes. So it's very hard for a girl to get a date because the guys that brought them here are spending all their time gawking at the naked chicks instead of the not quite as beautiful companion they brought along. So that's what you discover primarily about Bangkok is nightlife, is that it's orientated around strippers. How does this affect you? Do you care? Is it novel? What's your opinion?
For the most part, I just trying to find a girl that's willing to just sit down for some conversation. Maybe find a just a well-lit alcove, just share a conversation.
All right. Do you buy her expensive drinks?
Moderately so.
Good, because otherwise she won't talk to you, because that's the nature of the business around here. Costs you about 50 million, so you can cross that off your character sheet, but you do manage to have a bit of a good time, to not catch any sexually transmitted diseases, and to just basically entertain yourself for a while. Is there anything that you want to pick up in Bangkok? Because you can walk down the street and buy everything from ninja stars to stun batons to fake IDs.
Well, apart from chlamydia, which I assume is free except for the aforementioned drinks.
Indeed.
Let's see what else.
It's less of the clap and more of the knock around the head. This is chlamydia.
Gotcha.
This is metachlamydia. People caught it from koalas. Don't ask how.
All right.
They caught these ones from drop bears.
That's right. He's right.
All right.
I have an American friend who is convinced drop bears are a real thing.
Good. I'm glad. We Australians have worked for years to maintain the illusion. I've killed people with drop bears in Shadowrun. I think I've killed more people with drop bears than anything else, like even bullets. But anyway, that's another story.
I'm assuming that like just grown vegetables, whether GMO or non, like are just either pretty expensive or just pretty hard to come by.
Both, yeah. But in Bangkok, not so bad. They are still pretty hard to come by, but they've got this thing called the floating market, which, like Venice, they've got all these canals and stuff. And on the floating market, they bring in produce from the countryside, and so it's a terrible system of exploitation, but it's still relatively cheap. Instead of having to pay $10 for a carrot, 10 nuyen for a carrot, like you might in Seattle, over here it's only 2 nuyen. But the guy who produced it got 0.1 nuyen, and the chain, the market chain, absorbs the rest. So you can actually get relatively fresh vegetables in Bangkok relatively cheaply. Are you a vegan? Do you eat meat at all?
I think that I just try to avoid meat. I can digest it, but for the most part, it's just I don't know, some moral implication bullshit.
And you probably got the wrong teeth for it as well. So
Very true.
Yeah. So you eat quite well in Bangkok, all things considered. You might even get to take a Thai cooking class to pass your time and learn how to make vegetarian laksa.
That's all right.
Which
Most
isn't a
people
Thai
eat
dish.
meat anyway.
Yeah, they can't afford it unless it's devil rat. And we've eradicated all the devil rats, so you can't eat them either.
All right.
All right. So you spend some time in Bangkok. You get a bit of a briefing of what you're expected to do. Communist regime, rah-rah, hardened adversaries like Chef, rah-rah, insert into mercenary team and so on. You'll be staying on, I think, the 7th floor of the Hilton Hotel in Siem Reap, so the digs sound like they're going to be good. When you land, who is there to pick you up? Neo, do you go by yourself? Do you send your vehicle to collect him from the airport? How does this work?
I got told we had a new hire on the team.
What's that?
Like, I presume like Mr. I got in touch just
Yeah.
like
Wait,
hire
is
pick him
it
up
time
at
to
the
get
airport.
another meat platter?
Precisely. That's exactly it. He contacts you, says, "Look, we've got a new operative to join your crew. He's a bit unusual. He's a corporate. Maybe probably doesn't tell you that he's a corporate citizen. Just tells you that he's a bit of a freak from Seattle, and show him the ropes. Hopefully, he will be more asset than burden."
Right. Well, you're gonna have to go with secure transportation here then. So I'll take the party bus down to the airport.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with you. And I'll get the meat platter sent to where we like the hotel. Is that where we're going to be like taking first?
Traditional welcoming meat platter.
Yeah, of course. How much was it?
A meat platter?
Yeah, like,
150 million?
yeah, okay, I'll pay for that.
That's not too bad, really. Yeah, not too bad. It's buffalo meat. It's not actual cow, but it's hard to tell the difference. Probably one of the buffaloes we ran over, but that's another story.
Buffalo.
All right.
So when you arrive in the airport, you discover a hardened military encampment that is controlled by the Thai government, which you probably already knew. If you watch news feeds, you will have seen that the United Nations is currently deriding Thailand for daring to invade a sovereign country like Cambodia. And Thailand's like, hey man, they have a communist insurgency, they were threatening our borders. We had to invade. It was the morally right thing to do. And whatever the question is, that is kind of irrelevant. What is relevant is that you have landed in a hardened military establishment. There are like 100 Thai soldiers here. They've set up anti-aircraft guns. They've got tanks and jeeps and machine gun establishments. And so it's like landing into a military base, although it is, or it used to be, a commercial enterprise. You get picked up by one of the nastiest looking vehicles you've ever seen. Neo, would you like to describe it?
Yeah, it's it basically looks like a school bus fucked an APC. It's got a giant like killdozer blade on the front. Absolutely no windows. Numerous like obvious firing ports. Yeah, it's just a ridiculously modified, already heavy vehicle.
Yeah. It's like the US federal agents captured something from Mad Max and then beefed it up with Nazi technology. So you get into this refurbished armored school bus, and do you have any queries or questions for your new companions, or do they have any questions for you?
First of all,
Um,
God rolls up with the vehicle and sees that he's picking up a goddamn deer man. Like he like spins the vehicle around, opens up
Leave-
the back door, like the ramp lowers down.
Oh, and inside there's like a nerd and like a burn victim, basically.
Yeah, the nerdy bird victim.
all right.
Looks like several days ago he was kicked through a table by a monkey.
So, do you obviously
guess-
look like a deer person? Or are you like covering it in some way?
It's pretty hard to cover those stag horns.
Yeah, honestly, like I guess I'm just wearing like full like dress clothes with some body armor over it, and maybe like a cloak or a shawl or something, just to make sure that the rain doesn't ruin anything. Assuming that there is rain, it's Cambodia. I don't know.
It rains all the freaking time. It's raining right now.
All right then. What time is it now? Actually.
It's 3:30 p.m.
All right. So right now, I guess I'm just wearing glasses, and I just kind of pull them down, and I'm just like, well, either this is heaven, or it's going to be a long time before I get there in this lovely machine.
And I So I suppose I'll give it to no deer and lean over to Neolith to be like, I mean, Godfather, and say, like, do you think he eats meat?
Mr. Johnson's just completely given up on subtlety for this team, man.
Like, is the buffalo platter just like
It's at
plain
the
in
hotel.
view?
So
Oh,
goes to
okay.
go into the
Just
hotel
wanted
room,
to
it's
make
just on
sure.
the table.
Okay. I guess I just like. So is everyone like already there, or?
It's just me and Godfather. And
Oh,
my
okay.
character looks like
Gotcha.
basically a D&D druid if you took a flamethrower to his face.
Okay. I guess I noticed the buffalo. Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, like Fenway's a D&D druid, and Godfather strapped head to toe in fucking like combat gear and cybernetics and shit. Like,
Yeah, it's like,
it's about as stark a contrast as possible.
I think the rest of the team is at the hotel, like you. I think.
All right then.
So, what's your favourite food?
Oh, I guess just affordable. So anything soy based. Did I just like describe like 95% of all the food in the Shadowrun universe?
I think so. But it's rice based over here. They get more productivity out of rice than soy.
All right then. And I guess I'll just say rice, anything. I don't know.
There we go.
Okay, I guess to the hotel.
All right. So we arrive at the hotel, and it's a snazzy place. Siem Reap is not. Siem Reap is a rundown tourist city that might have been beautiful once, but government neglect and corporate disinterest has left it one giant slum. Although some parts of the slum are notably worse than others. The canals are overflowing with rubbish. There are buffaloes walking through some of the main streets. The traffic lights constantly flash because they no longer work. But the matrix signal isn't actually too bad, surprisingly enough, and it gets better and better the closer we get to our home base. When we finally arrive at the Hilton is nice. It's kept in good condition. They have people working for $2 million a day to keep the place clean, polishing the windows and the floors and so on. Room service is available. There's a lot of different dishes. And all in all, the digs look pretty damn good. But there is an all-pervasive man stench, which only gets worse when Ricochet comes and introduces himself.
Orc stench.
Orc stench. Orcs can be men too.
The shrug.
Humans don't have a monopoly on being a man. Trog
Right.
stench. Yeah, trog stench is a better description.
All right then.
So for the rest of you, Shadow and Flash and Ricochet, we have a new party member apparently. They look like someone chopped off the head of a gumbo and put on the head of a stag instead. What the fuck is this? And can I order something different, please?
Full disclosure, I think the original thought was just to have like a human head and then stag horns, maybe some minor.
Oh right, so yeah, like that. Now I understand the Warhammer reference. You're like that Orion, I think the guy is the elven god of having horns.
All right. I mean, like if it's more thematically relevant, I guess I can just go with a deer head instead.
That's up to you. The Surge is pretty bizarre. You can be what you want. Yeah, this is the guy I'm referring to. You might have found him as well. There he is. Yep. Freaky.
Just to be sure, where is it posted?
In Discord.
Yeah, just the general chat.
Okay.
Well, the Shadowrun general chat.
Shadowrun. Yeah.
I don't know why, but for some reason that like all the chat channels for the what is this, like a mini server or whatever? It's like
Yeah.
there's it just disappeared on me, like all the chat channels.
Oh, you
Oh.
collapse the thing?
No, like even worse than that.
User
Like
have accidentally
no,
Hang
it's not
on.
worth.
He
log
wasn't.
anymore.
For some reason, he wasn't actually in the Shadowrunner group. He should be there now.
He lost the
Okay.
tag somehow.
Is that working now? Can you now look inside the Shadowrunner channel?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good. I don't know how that even worked. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Definitely softer features though. But yeah.
Schwarzenegger with horns.
All right. Well, at least he's not a deer-headed dude. He's just a horned dude. I mean, that's probably an improvement, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, as far as like sociability goes, you're not just like looking at a deer, just being like, "What in the fuck is that doing there?"
You have to set up
Exactly.
a salt.
All right. Does anyone introduce themselves, or do we just want to hand wave
Yeah,
that? What would you like to?
Wait, I'm Fenway, by the way. Like, do you have a name?
Oh, good to meet you.
Do we
Well,
call you
seeing as we're not going to be here long, I'm just
I seem to have missed your name every time
well,
in that.
that's all right. I assume we're not going to know each other for too long, so I'll just query. Good to meet you.
Goes over and like tries to put a tea towel over the meat without being noticed.
I guess I choose not to react just at all. Oh God, this is gonna be so dumb. I love it.
I mean, is there a non-awkward way to say, "Hey, dear man, do you eat meat?"
You just give him the platter and see if he
I mean,
eats it.
just asking it.
Just drop your pants and see how you react.
Oh boy.
I guess he will offer you a piece of the buffalo platter.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you though. I already ate.
Better than being 7.
Quite so. So, what are we all doing here?
Ricochet will take the meat platter off your Fenway.
Okay, he'll sit down. I mean, I think
Killing cabin.
yeah, that's definitely one of the things we're doing.
At the moment, trying to decide whether or not we want to go fuck up this compound or wait until they try to attack the hospital and hit them there.
Hmm. Do we stand
That's
to
fine.
gain anything if we go with any particular choice?
Well, I mean, if they attack the hospital, like, I guess some of the citizens could get hurt, and I mean, I'd like to avoid that.
Yeah, there's a lot
All
of
right,
uncontrolled variables. I mean, we're not even 100% certain that they'll be going for the hospital. And even if we do, we don't know if they're trying to take it over or just seize something from within. Like,
Or just
there's a lot
destroy
of
it.
unknowns in that. Yeah, we're just, render it inoperable. So yeah,
I think they said
I'd
they
prefer
wanted
to
to
go
take
after
it.
the compound.
I think they said they wanted to take it in the comlinks that we.
But those are old comlinks. They might have decided that holding the city might not be an option anymore.
Possibly, but the guy we were talking to made it sound like the plan hadn't changed that much, just been delayed.
Yeah. Either way, I still think there's a lot of unknowns in that I'd prefer to go after the farm.
Oh, definitely, I think we need to be on the offensive. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say odds are the chef is not going to take us up on our offer. So we should just start prepping an assault or infiltration plan.
Sounds solid.
Yeah, take a week to do some surveillance. Figure out exactly what's going on, and we see they're massing for some kind of operation. We can decide to either disrupt it or launch our attack. All right. Anything else, or should we start moving with surveillance?
We going to go to Bangkok to unload any of this gear, get any gear for the farm assault?
I'd like to pick up some plastique.
And
I mean,
take a day or
I've
so.
got like a plastic bag if we need that. I don't think we need to go to
put a
Bangkok for that.
dick, and I could use a different assault rifle if you want to infiltrate.
Yeah, we've got a decent amount of stuff to unload. So if we want to make a run to Bangkok, we can set up the surveillance and then do that while it's running.
Yeah, I just if we want to be quiet, I need a different assault rifle.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead and clear a run to Bangkok with Mr. Johnson. Mr. White, I suppose.
There's no problem with that. In the process, your AR feeds will tell you of a great real estate opportunity in Siem Reap. The Pyramid nightclub is now available for sale at 1/10 of its valuation only 3 years ago. So for just 600,000 Nuyen, you can now own the Pyramid nightclub.
I'll send in an offer for 10,000.
They reject it.
I guess
I'll
it was
wait.
worth
Pull
a
it
shot.
together, we could offer them 60,000, or we could handle it like we handled the boat.
And
Yeah,
how did
but
you
we-
handle the boat?
We don't have a boat now.
But neither do they.
Fair
We
enough.
blew it up with explosives.
Mutually assured destruction always wins.
Yeah, but the idea is that destruction never comes because it's mutually assured.
That's honestly pretty fair.
Anyway. All right.
Well, I'm not having the 600,000 Nuyen to buy the pyramid. The sale goes through, but that's okay because within less than 24 hours, it's been purchased anyway, so it's off the market. Not really our concern though. We're in Bangkok. What's the availability of? We'll start with Trey. What's the availability of gun that you're looking to get, or the parts for the gun?
If I could take the assault rifle I have and put a silencer on it, and I could offer up the gas venting system if they want.
Trey, are you looking to just get like a assault rifle with a suppressor, or something more complex?
No, I'm looking to take my.
Might not be there.
No, I'm here.
I might
You
not
gonna
be there.
hear him?
Holy shit!
Can you hear us?
I can hear all of you guys.
Yeah, I think it's
Sounds
working.
like-
Oh, I don't. Neo, would that be easier to like take the gas vent off my weapon, install a suppressor?
Yeah. Especially since it's a semi-automatic rifle, you don't really need a gas vent on it. It would be an extensive modification, but we have the tools for that at Bangkok. So as long as you get a silencer, we can do that.
So yeah, silencers. And I have a gas system because I don't fucking. But that would bump up my ability to hide by a lot.
And that is quite a bit of ping, if you can.
So
How in the
wait,
heck does that happen?
You wouldn't happen to be a talented chef or a creative engineer, would you?
talking to you, new guy.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the question?
You wouldn't happen to be a talented chef or a creative engineer?
Chef on my best day, engineer. Worst comes to worst, I guess.
Yeah, yes, don't worry about it then.
So Trey, are you just? Oh, sorry.
No, don't worry. I was gonna say that you've got nothing to do with like air or fire, have you?
I've not had to do with what now?
Air or fire?
Where's this line of questioning going?
I got my to do with that prophecy I got.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
he got his fortune told or like 2 sessions ago, and he's taking it super seriously.
Yeah, so you don't happen to do anything with air, do you?
I don't think I do. No.
Yeah, yeah, we should be fine then.
How close to the end of the month are we? We're pretty close, right?
Yeah, we were just
We
about
also
to
have a
get
bunch
paid
of
when
shit
we
to
hit
dump off of too.
Yeah.
Need to be paid so
Arctic.
I can spend money on dumb stuff.
Sure, we can fast forward to that point. It is only a few days away. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I think that would have passed in the days since the club. I think basically the day you landed would have been payday.
Sounds good. Sounds good. It means he doesn't get paid. That's perfect.
What's the
So
paycheck?
Arctic. It's
What is the
25K.
paycheck? 25K. There we go.
Is that before or after the share for the war chest?
After.
After.
Shadow's not getting this war chest.
All right. Shadow doesn't benefit from the war chest, but fair enough.
Anyway.
Pirate rules.
Since we're taking a few days, I guess I can just take my injuries to 0. So I've got heat. I don't think I was that injured.
Ricochet, are you able to afford a contribution to the war chest this month?
Ricochet, you there?
Shit, sorry, I was on mute.
Okay.
Yeah, no, at this stage, I still want to put everything into my debt, but just put in whatever you get from the sale of all that loot.
Yeah, I'll put like, is it 5,000 into the chest like normal?
Okay, yeah. So we get 30K.
Yeah, and I've added 25k like to my amount, so I guess 5k went to the chest last time.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do the same again. How much is in the chest?
Currently 73,000.
I guess
But
I'll throw
we
in
have all this
10K
shit to sell too.
to.
Yeah, we're about to make a decent chunk.
And do you want to talk to the triad guy, Sarah Marie, about a triad hookup in Bangkok?
Maybe.
Who's that directed at?
I don't. The group.
Oh.
As far as getting the best price and a fucked drugs.
Yeah, we got a lot to offload. Picking a good person to drop them off on. I mean, I'm not sure the local triads. They're like a dozen guys. I don't know if they can handle this kind of quantity.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm saying we get the like if he can give us a name, like
Like pass this up
a
as
letter of
supervisory
introduction.
chain.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, they are like they basically owe us a favor, and like we're offering them a really good deal. So yeah, I'm sure they'll be happy to put us in touch with someone.
Yep,
I thought the
Are you
triad
they're
was
able to do so.
I thought the triad was like one of the bigger groups.
Not here though.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a very big criminal organization, but here they only have like 12 guys because there's barely an economy.
But we are going to bank, so I don't know what articles say about that, but that also might be a decent place to try to get connections for things like a suppressor for an assault rifle, or
You can get a suppressor easily. Yeah.
Simtac, or C6, or whatever the fuck else you want.
Yeah, we could try to get in touch with that Ares warehouse guy we bribed last time. He was helpful.
Yep. Yeah, between those guys, between him and the triads, yeah, you're able to get a lot more stuff than normal, with a lot less effort. The triads, sorry. Yep.
I think that Aries guy's in Miami, isn't he?
Go on, but yeah, in any case, you're able to get hooked up from your new contacts. The triads, however, only offer you 10% of the drug's value.
I
They're
mean,
breaking
we
our
didn't
balls
make
here.
it, but this is virtually pharmaceutical shit. Like we saw the lab, the guy had talent.
20%.
Fenway, this is your
I
time
think-
to shine.
But what percentage would be this to the group? But what percentage would it be going for? Like,
Considering all they have to do is offload it.
Yeah, I mean, these are all premium drugs. Like, really, the only one that there isn't a huge market for is jazz, and even then, there are plenty of gangs that'll scoop that shit up. Like, literally, they just got to flip it.
Yeah,
I'd
but
say
I'm thinking
50% would be more than
50.
fair,
Yeah, I'll try to get 50% then, saying that these are like quality drugs.
especially
Go on,
since
mate.
they owe us.
Yeah, go ahead and make a bargaining roll.
Have negotiation.
Yeah, so that's fine. Bargaining, I'm pretty sure, is a specialty of
Yeah, it is.
negotiation.
I don't think I'll need to edge this. Famous last words. 2.
25%.
Or edging might not be the worst idea.
I'll tell the 25%. How's that sound?
This kind of quality, I might look elsewhere. Or quantity, rather.
All right, so no deal then.
So is the Yakuza.
Yeah. All right, do we want to try talking to the Yaks?
Don't we have that foxtailed woman?
Yeah, I'm sure Kitsune will be more than happy to buy her boyfriend's drugs. I mean, like, Chef is rich. He might just buy the inventory back from us. I see we make the offer.
I don't want to be there to deliver it, though.
Oh yeah, like it would be a we send a vehicle with the wares loaded in the trunk, you send the payment kind of deal.
I was going to try
I'm
to
actually
attempt.
just going to advise
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Trey advised contacting Chef about it.
No, the Kitsune is Chef's girlfriend.
Oh, then maybe
Yeah.
we can pawn it off as a. She'll be thinking, he just lost a bun. How better to raise his spirits?
I have the guy that I found who sold me K10.
Yep.
Also, yeah, let's try that guy. Offer him some wholesale pharmaceutical and unregistered drugs.
Do we know about your doctor contact, Godfather, or that's the secret?
Dr. Feelbad doesn't usually deal in this type of thing.
Yeah, but
He might.
He sounds
but
pretty sketchy, but I mean,
he's
I don't
more-
know.
Where? I mean, he might be able to put me in touch with somebody who deals in this shit.
Oh, we can talk to my contact that I found on the internet.
Yeah, or your info broker guy. Let's start with Flash's drug guy.
All right. Yeah, he'll offer you 20% straight up.
I guess.
At this kind of rate, like, we can't take less than 40.
I guess I'll try for 40 then.
Go ahead.
2.
He'll give you 30.
At this point, like, Godfather's losing his patience for negotiation. Like, it's a lot of money on the line, but
He bumps it up to 33, 1/3 of the price, 33.33333, and hopes that you make the deal.
Point
This
3
guy is
recurring is technically infinite, so we win.
I guess.
It's, this guy's my buddy. He sells me K10, so I mean, it works for me.
All right, is that a decision?
33%.
What was that?
We'll offer him half the quantity at 33%.
Done. He'd prefer to only buy half anyway. It's a lot easier to get rid of half than this commercial, industrial level of gear. So yeah. So whatever the value of half, or if you prefer 16.66%, you guys can do the math because I'm not doing it.
Right, so I was going to try to train my chameleon thing.
Oh yeah.
So I put the training table in, like, which ones would apply to it? Like, is it a power crit?
Oh yeah. What animal are you talking about?
The chameleon. The one
Oh
I
yeah,
got last-
it's a paracritter. Yeah, paracritter. I don't know what chimeric probably means multiple critters, so it wouldn't be a chimeric critter. It is domesticated. You said that they're commonly used as pets, didn't you?
They
Yeah,
are
yeah, so
pets,
it's-
and the big corpse use them. Like, apparently they're pretty
Yeah.
cheap, so that they don't care if they die.
Yeah.
The one thing they do is they replace the tongue with the big blade, but apparently that's like messes with their digestion, their eating habits, so they just sort of die after a few months.
Oh, that's yeah.
So I won't be doing that.
Just why not just like drown the bloody thing? Like honestly. It wasn't raised in the wild. It hasn't been poorly treated. It hasn't been well treated either. It doesn't want to eat you. It isn't necessarily a pack animal. It isn't necessarily solitary either. So yeah, it looks like there's zero modifiers at all. Paracritter and domesticated cancel each
So
other
wait,
out.
what is this? Choose a critter, determine the number of tricks. The number is 2, and now we need to assert dominance. Animal handling plus charisma opposed by creature's willpower times
Fucking
2
lost
because it's
sound.
domesticated.
This has never happened 3 times before.
Excuse me? Oh, oof.
He can't hear again. So yeah, that's not horrible, especially at the quantity of all that shit we had.
I'm doing the math, and I think it's going to be about 100
Are
grand
you doing the math?
and some math.
Yeah, so I guess it's a. I guess my creature. I guess Fang has to make a willpower test with a dice pool of 6.
Perfect.
Does my connection with my contact go up because I just sold him like 100 grand worth of drugs?
Yeah, good call. Yeah, and his connection goes up and his loyalty goes up because he now has more friends. So he has more contacts. So yeah, his connection and his loyalty both rise by 1.
I don't actually know what his stats were before. I think they were like
1, 3, we'll say. 1 loyalty, 3 connection. So he's now 2 loyalty. Sure. Unless you've actually paid for him, then that's what it'll be.
so he's 4 connection, 2 loyalty.
Correct.
Does he have a name? Do you want to?
Yes.
Can I give him a name?
Yeah, you can give him a name.
If you have it, you can give him a name. This is a. I didn't make this one up.
Jumbo.
Jumbo.
His name is actually like Jumpakathronpon, but Jumbo is easier.
Yeah, I am gonna get in touch with Dr. Feelbad, offload the where I harvested from the one guy we got intact.
Right. Yeah, no worries. He's happy to see you. He doesn't have a lot of friends, and you're one of the people out there that doesn't discriminate against, well, ghoul surgeons.
But yeah, I've always been a supporter of ghouls' rights. They're people too.
Exactly. Ghouls just want to have fun.
That's all they really
What
want.
rates you willing to offer?
What were you selling again?
2 cyber legs with some pretty pretty decent enhancements and like a smuggling compartment, some cyber spurs, a set of muscle replacements, and ortho skin.
He'd normally only give 10%, but he likes you, so we'll give you 20.
Yeah. I think with this guy, I've got a quality that he gives me a better rate than usual.
All right. Double's a better rate.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So 50.
20. Like he normally would only give 10% to someone off the street. But he'll give you double that, which is 20% of their value, without negotiation.
I mean, I'm a friend here.
25. What's your loyalty with him?
5.
Ooh, that is pretty high. All right, 35.
I'll take it. Thank you, friend. So yeah, it's 2 legs, muscle replacement, ortho skin, a set of spurs. I'll ask him if he's got any interest or knows someone who would in decent quantity of industrial chemicals to synthesize drugs.
Yeah, absolutely. He puts you in contact with an industrial chemist. The guy works at a big industrial hardware store, like an assistant director or someone pretty important. And they can manufacture everything from paint stripper to hydrochloric acid to synthetic skins and everything in between.
Yeah. These you just gave a flat valuation, like 33,000 worth of chemicals. Is that
Oh yeah,
after rate or before?
yeah. That's the commercial rate. He'll buy them since there's nothing wrong with them except for the fact that they're probably illegal. He'll give you half of the price, so 50% of the value.
I'll take it.
Done. Yeah, the cyberware degrades. Drugs are sometimes hard to distribute, but raw chemicals. Sodium chloride has a particular value, no matter who you take it to, right? Like some things have a market value, and this is one of them.
Wait,
All right.
while I'm training man, can I ask Ricochet just to like sort of be around? Because I think this thing could like literally kill me if it decided to bite me.
I mean, it's already proven it can kill you without biting you.
Wait, what's this?
This is the monkey that like murdered you, right?
No, this
And
is
it just
the
beat the shit out.
this the lizard creature.
Oh, never mind.
You don't
I
just.
thought you were training that monkey. I got you a pet, goddammit. Why
I
are
thought
you
I thought it was
training-
a sentient one.
No, I don't think so.
The chameleon or the monkey?
I suppose we can train that one as well.
Even if it's sentient, fuck it, it's a monkey.
No,
Yeah, the orangutan is definitely sentient. Absolutely, yeah.
yeah, see,
He can't read.
animal training won't work on him.
Yeah, no, he's an intellectual. He's not very smart, but he's smarter than the average bear. He can't read, he can't write, he can't even speak any language, but he can understand language. He doesn't have the vocal cords, you see. But he could operate a comlink if you gave him one.
He's probably about as smart as Pelgrad.
Maybe.
Did we get a?
That's hurtful.
Did you roll the dice pool with 6?
Me?
Yeah, because the creature rolls a willpower test, which is up to double its
Resistance,
willpower.
right.
Yeah, he's resisting
Okay.
my.
0 successes.
So I choose a Q. I choose sight, so the Q would be like a sight-based one,
Uh-huh.
because they don't have very good hearing.
No, but great sight. Vision all 360 degrees, basically.
And then I've got to make a extended animal handling test 3 with an interval of 2 weeks.
All right. All right, so 2 weeks is half a month, so that's a fair amount of time, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so if I just try it and if it doesn't work, I'll try again. Like I guess in a week, 2 weeks.
Sounds.
And I have specialty animal handling training, so I guess that helps.
It will definitely help. Yeah.
2.
You know exactly what you're doing.
Oops, ignore that.
No worries. That's a pretty unusual macro, that one.
Yeah, I accidentally clicked the die roller when I clicked back into the
You
screen.
know, I
and
think
hit
I'll
the
use an
fudge
edge
roller.
so just so I can like succeed. Like how many more would I get to all?
Your edge score.
That's 2 now.
Yeah, it kind of is like a lotto machine. Yeah.
You re-roll all your failures, so whatever you rolled -2.
Well, my mistake.
Okay, so my animal handling was 12. Like I rolled 12 dice, I think. So let's roll 10 now. I
All right.
think I rolled
You
0
rolled
dice there.
0d6, not yeah.
That's not good.
4,
Try that
so I
again.
succeed.
Yeah, much better. And now the animal is loyal to you, and it will
I'll-
change colours at will.
I'll teach it companion at the moment, and I'll try armor training in 2 weeks. Or
Right.
possibly attack.
The chameleon has a habit of dressing itself the way Fenway dresses. Like if he's wearing a red shirt, then the chameleon turns its chest red. It leaves like its pants like black or whatever color his pants are.
Oh yeah,
It tries to mimic him,
his name is Fang. Pretty cool.
which is short for
Nice.
Fangway.
So we have Fang and Claw.
Where's wing and talon?
The parrot hasn't got a name yet, so that can be Wing.
There we go. Or talon. Both.
Hey, would that be another bird, or like could we just make a joke and have it be a mole?
Good question.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, and the monkey. Like, what will it take to get him to like work for us and not like his previous like owner?
What was the question?
And the monkey, what would it get to take him to like get him on our side? Like, why is he
Oh,
loyal to
fuck's sake,
Chef?
why I fucking lost sound again? It's never happened 3 times, let alone 4 times. Oh well, something's gone wrong. I might have to do a complete reinstall, I think. But that won't happen right now. I'll be back in a moment.
So, I guess while he's on, what do you think? Do you think it'll just be like money or something? Like, why do you?
I don't know.
Chef's probably the one that taught him how to kickbox.
I've never talked to a sentient monkey before, so like I don't really know. Maybe he just wants some
the
bananas.
last one wanted money, so I mean. Hello, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I am back now. Yeah. So you're trying to negotiate with the orangutan?
Yeah, like what will it get for him to like work for us?
How do you communicate with him? He can't speak.
Can you write?
No, he can't read or write, and he has no vocal cords.
How did he communicate with the people in the bar?
Who do you ask?
This is something we should have asked before we sent that guy away.
We should have anticipated your want. Spank the monkey. I mean, just let him hang out here.
And here is, I guess, at the, like the workshop.
Compound,
Yeah.
right.
I'll try to learn how to kickbox.
Huh.
Was that the heavy?
It didn't sound forced enough.
So when we're in Bangkok, I've got a couple things I'd like to get as well.
Perfect.
Oh, did we all just get 25 more K? That's
The first thing I would like to get, probably the hardest, is going to be rating for beta-wear dermal plating.
Ooh,
It's
shit.
availability 20.
Oh my
and
god. Yeah, that's pretty high.
18,000.
Wow. Yeah, we have no contacts for that. You know, like we have the ghoul. He's helpful, but he doesn't have that level of gear. So we just return to the basic rules and try to make an acquisition test at this point. He's back in Miami.
Yeah, I've got a personal contact who is a loyalty to connection to CyberDoc, but I don't know if that's
Okay.
good enough.
Yep, that's connection 2. He probably won't be able to get it, but he'll give you an extra 2 dice on your roll.
Okay.
would an info broker find someone who could? He's loyalty 1,
Uh,
connection 6.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
Does anyone want to try to help me find?
I mean,
Because I'm not a social guy.
Yeah, I'll help you find it.
Trey would help, but only because his dick gets hard at the idea of gamma wear.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
So is that just a negotiation?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's a
get an extra
negotiation.
6 dice for your contact. The info broker.
Should I come along, or will I just kind of mess things up?
Do you want me to
Think
edge
you can
this?
come along. Up to you.
Sounds like a good piece of gear, so I think it'll be worth it. So how do you get edge back again?
Sleep.
Okay, so
Do cool things.
Yeah, let's do that then. Negotiation.
Cool.
4.
Quite sure that's not enough. It's an extended test, isn't it? Trying to do these.
It's an opposed test against a dice
is it?
pool of 20. Yeah.
Fucking hell. Yeah. Good luck.
Well, you guys said I didn't need to edge.
That's great of that. Not a chance.
All right. Then the other thing I want to get is a Yamaha Raiden assault rifle with some added things.
I thought they were. I thought Yamaha Raidens were a bike. There you go. Yeah, no worries. You can get a Yamaha Raiden. What's their forbidden rating? What's their
14.
that's not too bad.
Dom do all this one as well. Like negotiation.
Yep. If you're taking care of the negotiations, go ahead.
Okay, is it +6 again or?
+3 this time.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, these things are like kind of hard to get. Like
Yeah, 4
only the
again?
Imperial Japanese Marines
Yeah.
use them or something.
They
there's
have one for you, but there's a catch. It was taken from a murdered Japanese Marine and thus is very, very hot.
okay. That's fine.
Right, no worries. You get a hot weapon. Doesn't come with any ammunition. Serial number and RFID tags and whatever have been removed. But there's not a lot of these weapons out there. There's a number, 100,000 or so. But just being in possession of one can raise questions. But there, you've got your rating.
I mean, I'm going into Siam Reap with it, so I mean,
Precisely,
I'm
right.
fairly confident that it won't be too big of a deal there. But you never know.
Can't see the Japanese invading the city just to get one gun back.
Right. On top of that, I'd like to add a gas vent 3 to it, chameleon coating, a personalized grip, and an improved rangefinder.
Okay, what's the highest rating of those?
10.
That should be okay. Forbidden, of course.
I believe the chameleon coating is forbidden. Yeah.
Sounds like it'll be forbidden.
No,
All right.
just restricted.
Just restricted. In that case, 10R. Yeah, you can get it. You can get it from the same guy that we bought chameleon paint block from last time, didn't we?
That was the Ares guy, wasn't it? Got the
That
chameleon
was the
paint.
Ares manager.
Oh right, I thought we got it from like an industrial paint store or something here in Bangkok. In any case, yeah, 10R is not even a challenge. You're able to find a guy who knows a guy, and it takes a few hours, but they're eager to deal with you.
Cool.
Bangkok's under military occupation. We already knew that. I just thought I'd mention it again.
Just to keep us on. Well, I suppose security's. There's going to be more scrutiny, I guess, towards like buying weapons and things.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, potentially. It's complex, but it changes the situation and just means that punishment is much more severe.
Yeah, we'll just transfer stuff pretty quietly to the airplane and not carry it around.
Too easy.
I'll need some ammo for it too. So,
What sort?
I think, oh man, I want to get EXEX, but I don't think I'm gonna try that yet. So let's just get some standard ammo for now.
No worries,
think
you can
that'll
buy it
be
by the box full. Yeah, they sell it at Kmart.
Well, heck, we're here. Get me like 120 rounds of EXEX, Fenway, if you can.
I don't even know what that is.
Me
Uh,
either.
It's basically improved explosive rounds.
Yeah, it's extra explosive ammo.
Yeah, I'll try
Right.
a negotiation.
Yeah, go ahead.
And that's 14F. So.
Any modify?
Maybe 3 for your info broker, yeah.
Two.
Look, they find you some stuff, some explosive rounds, some EXEX, but they are volatile. Like they don't tell you that they're volatile, but you can look at it. It's poorly manufactured. The chemical ratios are out of whack. It's the sort of shit that could blow up in your hand. But it's as long as it works, it works. But yeah, you understand the idea of handmade grenades, right? Handmade grenades can kill people, including the person who throws them.
Let's pass on that.
Right.
And the info book has actually been very useful. So like
Instead, let's try to get 120 rounds of flechette ammo.
Oh, that's easy. Yeah, you can buy the flechettes at the supermarket, or if not the supermarket, off the street anyway.
I have no idea
think
how
they're
much
only
information
6.
is worth in the Shadowrun world. Like, how much would it cost to get all that information? Like that we just got from him.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought of that.
I was thinking
Some
about
fucking book that literally is like an exact table of like how much you should pay for information, but I have no idea where it is unless
Okay.
I run.
I could say, since we can't find it, I'll go with 10% of whatever the value of the thing that you're buying is, because that's a pretty standard rate.
Yeah, because
And if he can't get it, then he doesn't get the money, so that's his fault.
I was going to say like maybe like 2,000 new and just
Not even.
Yep.
Not even. Well, yeah, actually.
And I suppose just an additional, please don't tell other people that would like don't give that information to other people. Like they'll have to offer like more than like the money we give you to sell our information to them. So like I said, this person's not loyal to me.
Sure. So 2,000?
You know,
Yeah, that's like for the information, and to some, don't tell other people. Like don't sell our information.
No worries. You give him $2,000, and his loyalty increases from 1 to 2.
That's significantly more than the 10% too. So I only bought 7,500 worth of stuff. So.
Yeah. So it's a lot. He made bank. He made 30% instead of 10. It's a big increase.
He's probably just like, who is this random like hippie who keeps talking to me?
I got 3 things I want to try to pick up my new payday. First off, I want to try to pick up a rating 6 agent if I can.
Ooh.
Yeah, it'd be 18 availability.
All right.
Maybe your info guy can put us in touch with someone who deals with that. I mean, honestly, if he's a matrix info broker, he might deal in that. But
Yeah, I'll ask him.
Yeah, you can get all 6 dice for him instead of just 3, since this is his forte.
Six.
Yep. 6 successes on and 6 to resist, so you're able to get it. What was it? What was the product you were getting?
An agent.
An agent,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. All right. Yeah. So you get an agent. I can't think of any quirks that might come with it, but it is known to be quirky, whatever those quirks are. It's a little bit independent in spite of just being a computer program. Perhaps it's got some glitch or something.
It's got like the R2D2 syndrome.
Something like that, yeah, like semi-sentient, basically.
Comes with a persona soft that can't be removed.
Exactly, that's right. Like it's got Michael Caine's voice and all of his sass as well.
You bloody nitwit! You can't even hack a bloody system.
Exactly, that's exactly it. Who's this Joker that I'm working for?
Fantastic. There are 2 things. I want to try to get in touch with our Ares warehouse boy and see if he can get me some more of that signature masking stuff, and B, the paint and sensors needed for a chameleon coating.
Yeah. Yep.
Can you add the ruthenium polymer coating into that?
Might as well.
What's the highest difficulty of that cure?
The sensor or the signature masking is 14, I think, unless the ruthenium polymer is higher.
Might be
At 16.
16.
Whatever the fuck. However you
Is
say
it
that.
forbidden or restricted?
Forbidden.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, the short answer is they can get it, but they're going to charge you double for it. So yeah, he can get it for you straight up. You go to the same compound, deal with the same guys, but he kind of sees you as a cash cow at this point, and won't let it go for less than double of what the market value is.
Everything, or just the the ruthenium polymer?
The two, the ruthenium and what is it, chameleon coating was the other one.
I'm
And what was
trying to get two different things from.
Yeah, and what was the other one? Yeah.
Yeah, the stealth paint, the chameleon paint, and the ruthenium polymer.
Right,
Ruthenium
which is
polymer
higher
is part
category out of which is harder out of the stealth or chameleon?
The stealth.
I thought it would be.
So
Yeah, so he'll sell you the chameleon at regular price, and the other two are at double.
How much do
I
new
can
spells
afford
cost?
double for mine.
All right.
I mean, he's kind of screwing himself out of repeat business here. I'll tell him.
He says, look, if you've got another industrial specialized paint hardware store to go to, then you're free to find them.
I found you with a phone call, friend. I can find someone else.
Yeah, all right, 150% instead of 200%.
125.
Make a negotiation roll.
I will edge this.
All right. And he says, "Look, pal, the military are coming down on us hard. They're checking inventories. I could lose my whole career for this. I could get the death penalty."
Fair enough. 150.
Yeah, and he's quite sincere in saying that. It's like, man, you know, they're lining people up against the wall and shooting them for dealing with people like you. So he's happy when you walk out the door.
How much do spell formula cost?
You can buy them off the street, and the prices are in the handbook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's talus leggers all over the place, like frog's legs and eye of newt and all that sort of junk. It's everywhere.
Yeah, because I was going to buy a bunch of new spells because I should probably have detection spells because I get a bonus to them.
Albino child hand, very useful.
No, I don't mean ingredients. I mean the thing you use to get new spells.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, you can buy them from the talus legger, but they're not as easily available because you can't just wander off and find an albino and chop off his hand.
So, does anyone know what sort of page that would be on?
Near the back of the book, I think.
Should be under formulae, and it's 5. It's 5 per.
5,000 per rating of the spell.
No. They're usually.
Determined by class of the spell category, I think.
Yeah. But it's usually 1,000 per. Shit, no, that's not right. What the fuck is it?
Should be at the back of the book anyway. Like all the prices are in the back.
There you go. Spell formula detection 500.
What page is this on?
Core rulebook 326. And it's 5 karma. Learn them.
I mean,
that's a lot.
I have karma.
I'm just
like. And what do the mages do but have spells? You know, if you're not going to spend your karma on new powers, then what do you got it for? So?
Yeah.
Actually, detection spells are much cheaper than I thought they'd be.
Think of how small the market is.
Yeah, but a combat one is 2,000 and a detection one is 500, like Newen.
It's because combat ones are typically less legal or more restricted, so harder to.
Okay.
Buy.
And the karma is 5 per spell, right?
Hey Arctic.
Yeah.
If I wanted to look for cyberware, but I need to like research and like figure out what I wanted to look for, could I do that at the start of next session and we'll say it was while we were here? Okay.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Instead of me like trying to like sit here and like sort through it while I'm in the middle of this session.
And then realize that you didn't want a fucking adrenaline injector after all.
Yeah,
no
because
problem.
I'm on like 0.08 essence, so like I have to like figure it out very exactly.
Absolutely.
It's like, oh, I killed my character on accident because I can't do math.
While we're on you, Flash, though, could you roll for me a D30?
Well, not 33. Something's happened.
Not a 33. I didn't bother making the extra 3. D30. Alright. Okay, so you've been you're out negotiating, Flash. You're looking for your different gear, getting in contact with people and whatnot, and you've been approached by a Thai girl. She's pretty, probably about 21 or thereabouts. She speaks to you in half a dozen different languages. Starts with German and Japanese, and whatnot. But she just sort of hangs around you and wants to help you out. She thinks that you're really cool, and just hopes that you'll. Do you need a tour guide? Do you need someone to show you around Bangkok? Do you need? I can get you anything.
Does she seem useful? Like she knows stuff?
She knows a lot of languages, and she's got some. She knows the city pretty well. Yeah. In fact, maybe she even knows that you guys are the guys that are selling, like, that have flooded the market with drugs. She's pretty well informed. Yeah.
Yeah, she can hang around, I guess.
All right. You have a girlfriend now. Her name is Nan, and she follows you everywhere. Does everything that you want. She hates Khmer, by the way. So, like, just as a people, not the Khmer Rouge. She just hates the fucking Khmer, but she hates the Burmese even more. She thinks the Khmer are scum, unintelligent jungle dwellers, and that the Burmese are that much worse.
Excellent.
Side note, Godfather will wire 30 grand to his creditors and spend 8 karma to buy off his in-debt quality.
Ah, no worries. They are a little bit happy to see that you've paid off, a little bit upset, a little bit unhappy to see that you've paid off your debt. But, you know, you can't milk a cow forever.
Yep, sometimes the cow earns the right to its own milk. Again.
That's it. I read a story about Fidel Castro's cow the other day. I assume that no one's ever heard the story of Fidel Castro's cow.
I watched a YouTube video extensively about Fidel Castro's obsession with dairy.
Fucking, isn't it amazing? Like he had this fucking cow that was producing like 120 liters of milk a day or something. It was fucking amazing. Anyway.
Yeah, he like started publishing like a daily update in the newspapers on how the cow's milk was progressing.
And then when she stopped milking, he killed her because she was no longer useful for the revolution. She was no longer contributing. He loved that fucking cow, but he had to kill her because she was no longer useful for the revolution.
He made an example of that goddamn cow.
I mean, she was useful as steak.
Exactly right.
Yeah, he wanted to genetically engineer some kind of Caribbean super cow that would like adapt to the climate or some shit.
Wait, with clairvoyance, like, what is the range? Because it just says touch.
I don't know.
Is it?
What? No, that's not correct. It's force per meter.
Because in the book, clairvoyance type range T, and range is touch, isn't it?
You can cast it on someone that you touch.
Oh, okay, so
Or
how far?
cast it on
Yeah, that's right.
And I believe clairvoyance is that you pick somewhere within the range, and then you can see as if you were at that point. So that you like look around corners and shit like that.
But what is the range?
I think range in magic times magic in meters. Is that what you said?
Yeah, no, it's force.
Force. Sorry, I meant yeah.
So if you cast it like 4-6, you can see 6 meters or whatever.
Well, you pick a point within 6 meters that you can see as if you were there.
Because if you want to go like real far, you got to get the ritual sensing.
I'll get 2 spells: Mind Link and Mind Probe. That should be 1,000 Yuan.
No worries at all.
I have a question for you, Arctic. While Shadow is in Bangkok,
Yeah.
if he approaches the local dock wagon clinic and signs up for their services, will they be able to get him the cyberware that he is looking for? The dermal plating, specifically.
Is what isn't it like betaware or gammaware or something that you're after?
It's betaware, yeah.
Betaware, no. They can get you alphaware, but not betaware.
Oh well, no deal.
Yeah, but while you're on the ticket, roll a d30, please.
All
Yeah,
right.
Shadow.
23.
See what's going on here.
Wait, so the dock wagon subscription gets you access to alphaware?
Technically, yeah. Like it can. Like
You just
yeah.
put
You
in
should
the door
answer
and they
it.
sell it.
Yeah.
Alphaware is not really that hard to get, typically.
Not
so.
really. Like yeah. It's yesterday's experimental tech.
It's the iPhone of cyberware.
Yeah, good call. The iPhone 13. There isn't an iPhone 13, is there? I hope there's not.
I mean, a Shadowrun there is.
I
There's an
guess there
iPhone
is,
76.
pretty much.
It
Alright.
literally has no interface whatsoever. No headphone jack, no stylus, like
No button.
nothing. It's just a fucking brick.
And the only people who have it are Korean. All right. While you're out shopping, or maybe when you've just left the dock wagon, Shadow, what vehicle do you travel in Bangkok? You just catch the SkyTrain or take a tuk-tuk?
SkyTrain or tuk-tuk, yeah.
Yeah, sure, some public vehicle. All right, so you barely come out of a dock wagon, and maybe you're hailing a tuk-tuk or walking towards the SkyTrain. Maybe you're doing both and you're seeing which you get first. And a military entourage drives past, or rather, they don't drive past. They're caught in peak hour traffic. Traffic in Bangkok is fucking phenomenal. It is so bad, and yeah, man. And so they've got these APCs that are trying to get their way through peak hour. And granted, people are trying to give them access, but there's only so much juice you can squeeze from a stone. And no matter how many people get out of the way and motorbikes get off the road and Ferraris get up on the sidewalk, it's still not enough room for the APCs to get through. You've got. Do you have perception at all, Shadow?
Yes, I should.
Yeah, I thought that you'd be pretty perceptive. So go ahead and make a perception check. Funny you should say that, Trey. All right.
Yes.
Funny you should say that, Trey, because someone comes up to your Shadow selling water, bottles of fresh water, pure water, taken straight from the sky, and little rings of flowers and small rice snacks, and there's window washers everywhere, and little kids peddling, hopefully not themselves, hopefully they're peddling peanuts or something. Do you want to buy some water? Do you just push your way through this crowd? They're just common people.
I think he'll probably buy some water and look like he's blending in more than someone just trying to push their way through the crowd.
Perfect. So there you are, leaning up against a street sign, drinking fresh water. And to be honest, it is actually good rainwater caught straight from someone's tank. It's the real deal. When your sharp eyes notice a windscreen washer go up to one of the APCs, and he plants a limpet mine, a mine underneath the APC. You see him pull out this chunky device and slap it underneath the bottom.
Well, far be it from Shadow to warn the local authorities. He's going to try to make himself scarce and kind of slink away into the shadows.
Good idea. Isan is a free country! The man yells as he sets off the combat mine, blowing himself up and blowing the fucking vehicle up as well. You've gotten out of there, or you're trying to get out of there, so make a stealth roll to avoid the scrutiny of the cameras, because the cameras are on the scene immediately. Yeah, you sneak away and you manage to get a vantage point so that you're far enough away to be safe, close enough to see what's going on. The cameras turn up first. They're mostly media cameras, different Thai channels, yes, Asian Australian News Network. They all mass onto the scene and start filming. But it only takes about 7 or 8 minutes. You're probably long gone by then anyway. But it only takes about 7 or 8 minutes before Nakrob arrive. And Nakrob are the guys that you dealt with back in Cambodia. The initial dudes that turned up in the camouflage jeeps. Yeah, the Thai Special Forces.
Okay.
But do you stick around when they turn up?
Maybe for a little bit to watch, to see how they act.
They start mass arresting people, mass arresting, firing live rounds to get through, all that sort of stuff. It's brutal.
Yeah. Once I see their general disposition and how they respond, I'll leave. That's enough information for me for the moment.
Brilliant. The rest of you will all get AR information on your AR feeds. If you subscribe to any news network, particularly a Southeast Asian one, you will almost immediately learn of a terrorist attack on Soi 19 within Bangkok. The cameras are able to detect what happened afterwards. You know, it's easy in hindsight to see this water cellar go up and put the limpet mine on. But the more observant of you might even notice a little shadow in the background just slinking away. All right. So you were intending to get something, weren't you? I got off track there.
Oh, I was coming from Dockwagon to find out if
That's
they
right.
would sell me betaware.
Yeah,
The bastards. They could. They just choose not to.
Do you want a platinum contract?
No, not yet.
Yeah, okay. Then no. If you're willing to put out the 50,000, then maybe.
Yeah, I figured I'd have to throw out some money, but I just kind of wanted to inquire, find out where they might be next time they come. Oh, next time.
Potentially, yeah, exactly.
It'll certainly open up options, avenues to pursue.
Exactly. All right.
Okay, so
Are we done in Bangkok?
Yeah, so I'll get my 2 new spells. It's Mind Link and Mind Probe.
Perfect. Query, did you come along to Bangkok?
I think so.
All right, roll a d30, please. /R space d30.
Just making sure I put it in.
Okay.
No worries, man.
/R D30?
That's right, a d30, yeah.
Okay.
Pull out your 30-sided dice and give it a roll.
All right.
Cool. Right. You get an ad in your AR feed. Whether or not it's been tailored to you specifically, you can only guess. But they are buying and selling animal parts, exotic animal parts, and Naga body parts. They are buying bear claws for 100 million. They are buying crocodile teeth for 1 million each, or the whole skull for somewhere between 500 to 1,000, depending on how good it is. But best of all, they are buying maybe this is, yeah, oh, they're also buying live Naga, which is like a snake person, for 10,000. So if you can get them a live Naga, they'll give you 10,000. They're also selling, naturally, they sell hellhound pups for 3,000. They sell centaur foals for 10,000. And finally, they sell Naga for 25,000. Would you like to buy a slave? Because according to the United Nations, these are people, except for the hellhound.
Okay. Just give me a sec, real quick. Okay. I just kind of retch right there in the street a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fuck.
I want Hellhound.
I guess I'll. What do you say? The Naga was 10,000.
10,000 to buy, 25 to sell. So they'll buy it for 10 and they'll sell it for 25.
Fuck. I guess I'll buy 2 Hellhound pups.
All right, brilliant. They are untrained. They burp fire. They're pretty dangerous, but they are now yours, kind of illegally.
Okay. All right.
Do you name them?
Yeah, I guess so. Are they both male, both female, one of each?
You can choose. They have like 12 pups available.
Do you let the team know? Because I'd like to have a Hellhound as well.
I guess I just get in contact with the group and just. Is there a way to forward them this ad?
Yeah, absolutely. Just copy and paste, basically. Yeah, send it on.
Group chat, basically.
All right.
Would you like to share this ad with your friends?
Precisely. You will get one
get
credit.
like 3 loyalty points.
Exactly. That's right.
Double
with a free
if
bag
they
of dog
click
food.
through.
You get a free hellhound.
That's it. And like a water bowl that is fireproof.
All right then.
I'll get a Hellhound.
Look, we're buying all the stock.
I'm kind of tempted to ask for a group authorization to purchase a Naga.
And Trey wants one as well, so I guess I'll get 2 Hellhounds as well.
4 hellhound pups and possibly a Naga.
All right.
If you put it out, do you put that out to the group?
Yeah, Godfather jokes. He's like, you want to dip into the war chest and buy ourselves a Naga?
Yes.
Wait, so are all the funds being drawn from the war chest right now?
No, I'm buying my
No, we're not
2 from my.
currently drawing any funds from the war chest.
All right.
Yeah, war chest is basically like anything that benefits the group. That, well, the people who contributed at least, get a vote on how it's spent.
All right. And just to be sure, the 4 pups, 12K. That's just a total, not referring to anyone's
Oh,
input
be right back.
or
No.
the.
Yeah, each hellhound pup is 3,000. So if you're buying 4, it's 12 grand.
In the background.
That's some pretty entertaining stuff. All right. So you buy your hellhounds. What about the Naga?
Are we seriously going to vote on whether or not we're buying a Naga slave?
I don't. Trey doesn't hold with slaves, but we should definitely buy it back with us.
Why should we buy it?
Because, especially for something like the fuck do you call it, the zoo, and like Trey would have an altruistic.
Okay, I have returned.
He wouldn't want to leave it in slavery.
I
But
think if we buy
the
it from a
Godfather-
slaver, like, is your plan to put it on a plane, bring it back to Siam Reap with us, and try to talk it into assaulting the farm?
What?
They have magical.
I guess he's trying. Is he trying to buy the fall?
He's trying to
People
get a
do-
war chest expense to buy one of the live Naga.
What was your reasoning, Trey?
He will try to argue the animal controlling ability.
Naga and animals. are
Naga
they?
are sentient though.
Yep.
Like they pretend
So
to
what?
be not sentient, but they are.
That's what I'm saying. So we give him to do this one job, and we'll set him free.
What language do they
That
understand?
sounds like an awful
I
idea.
think I did see it again. I'll be back.
Trey will argue that it could be the best idea we've had.
Even if we somehow manage to talk this traumatized Naga slave into working for us, like it's a giant snake.
With a head that has a face. Look, let's just go talk to it. How about that?
How about you offer 100 million to talk to a Naga?
I don't understand. Like, the players.
Rather than spending a quarter of our group expense on
Do I ever
trying to
fuck
buy a
with you
giant
about
snake.
just see if it'll be helpful?
Uh,
Not gonna cost us anything.
Flash is
I'll buy
25 grand is what it'll cost us.
Flash is pretty negative on the buying a Naga. Not a huge fan of the slave owning idea.
On the side, Trey will tell you, yeah, I understand. But we gotta sell it to fucking metal nuts here.
All right, if we're actually voting, I would vote no.
Ditto.
Should we just like tally in the chat, like everyone's vote, or
Yeah,
Does
sounds
anybody
good.
besides Telgrad vote yes?
Yeah, that's an even better question.
I think the only
Looks like
person that
it's-
could save me would be fucking Fenway.
Fenway is big on slavery.
Exactly.
What do you mean? It's just
Animal
animals.
liberationist. Yeah.
And their lives are
So-
better
Slaves
with
are
me.
animals, yeah.
Now, if you buy slaves, like it just sort of makes it worthwhile, like having slaves.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really.
I realize you've successfully brainwashed some child soldiers to our side, but that's a bit different from a
Yeah, but-
highly intelligent awakened snake.
this is true?
And won't it just escape like the moment you try to get it to do
Oh
anything?
God, what are we doing?
Yeah.
We can only hope.
So Travis is coming out of your pocket. Looks like we're not buying any Naga.
Trey's highly disappointed in all.
I mean, at least you've got a hellhound.
Fuck you, Fenway. Fuck you.
All right.
Righty. So, that's Bangkok for you.
All right. Remember correctly, before we left, I had my drone watching the farm, so I'll check back with its footage.
Sure.
Basically, like, have they been doing anything noticeable from like a kilometer away?
Not really, but I can give you a few pieces of information anyway. They have elephants, they have tigers, they have crocodiles. Yeah, what else is there to say? It's an expensive facility. It looks like they've got a cutting edge hospital, veterinary clinic rather, on site. Animals go in and don't come out for several hours, and when they come out, they're kind of twitchy and a bit bizarre and seem to be behaving unnaturally after they emerge from the clinic. There are quite a lot of soldiers here. How many are we looking at? Trolls with grenades, machine guns, like, M16s with a grenade. No, it's more like an M60 with a grenade launcher mounted underneath it. Big troll guns. Yeah. But there's nothing that goes on from a distance that is truly notable. They don't import great waves of soldiers or no Black Ops helicopters land, anything like that. It's just looks like business as usual.
Yeah, that's what I was looking out for, so that's good.
Good.
So what kind of like big animals do they got? Like the crocodiles, the elephants. What else was
Big
it?
cats,
Big
yeah.
cats. Okay.
wild boars. Yeah, that's probably bears, deer.
Well,
Yeah.
we have 3 like spellcasters now, don't we? We can like do the initiation thing.
Oh yeah, we've got 3 magic guys back.
You could form a group, yeah.
Yep.
That's probably something to decide on between sessions if you want to form a group to figure out all your group rules and stuff.
Yeah, because I'll have to write a whole mission up for it if that's what we're going to do. So let me know in advance before it's happening.
And if we get to talk, you might try to include the other person what playing in it, because that'll be like 4 members. Must do something, right?
Sure, that's up to you. Just let me know with a week or even 2 weeks notice so I can work on it.
And it's me, Bernie, and Trey are the magic ones, right?
There, yeah. Ricochet, are you an adept?
No, fuck no.
He's an orc. That's a fairy.
His last orc was an adept, but that was a long time ago.
Real name
Alright.
is Cyber.
Uh-huh. The chef agrees.
Yeah, I guess Godfather will make some rolls to install this shit. Probably take about a day or so.
Sounds good.
All right.
That's a big number.
Yeah, technically 9. Oh, I got edge turned on. That's why.
No worries. It's like giving out scout badges. You get your job done relatively quickly. We have a new company mascot, which I assume is the Hellhound.
Yes.
No
They
argument
love
here.
it. Unfortunately, one of the children suffer such heavy degrees of burns that they're going to need medical assistance. Puts
Save
the
your
kids-
med kit.
I'll put
Right
him in
through
the
her forehead.
Valkyrie pod.
Chunk.
I also have healing magic.
As a result, because of your magic and your healing pod and your quick actions, the rest of the children don't learn their lesson, and they continue to provoke the Hellhound, causing it to burn more flame, causing more burns.
We'll make the burned one sit on a stool with like a dunce cap and clearly visible burn wounds.
That's quite effective. That's quite effective. No one wants to be like Larry, and they start behaving themselves a little bit. Shadow was gonna take the best cooked meat and eat it.
Shadow knows how Darwinism works.
Yeah.
Shadow survives because he is the fittest.
Most adaptable to change. It doesn't matter too much, but yeah, you get the message across. Your soldiers grow ever more loyal, ever more committed, and better armed as well.
At some point in this campaign, we're gonna actually use these guys for something, and it's gonna be the hilarious and worst shit ever.
Yeah.
Look, at some point, Ardic's going to tell us that they were going to storm the compound, but 21 highly trained, highly motivated little fucking hellions, no regard for their own life.
Or you get back to your raided base and there's 21 dead little bodies.
Or 21 that got brainwashed again back to the communist way.
It's just like
their
old sergeant just comes back. It's like, yeah, I'm still your leader, and they just defect him immediately.
I think at this point, with the amount of creature comforts and continual reinforcement, I think the communists would have a hard time getting kids back.
Because I think originally we were supposed to have Omen was going to like mind wash them, wasn't it? Like just mess with their minds to make them loyal that way.
Just the starving versus non-starving, continual 80s American propaganda, like a lot of Rambo movie stuff. I got these. I'm not worried about that.
Very effective. They're inclined to look up to you in the first place. The Khmer people have an inferiority syndrome. They've for hundreds of years they've had it bred into them that they are a lesser human being than about everyone else, and they particularly look up to wealthy white people as a source of inspiration, and wealthy Chinese people as well. Japanese, Chinese, Japanese, and Caucasians are kind of a master race to these people. So between the food and the propaganda and the armor and the equipment and the opportunity, you've bought yourself one of the most loyal, if incompetent, armies in the world.
They're like the goblins from Overlord.
Yeah, I haven't played Overlord, but that's exactly right. They're like stormtroopers, but with less training.
Or like a dragon who has kobolds is like they're not useful, but they're fun to have around.
Yeah,
I specifically kept saying that I've been training.
Oh yeah, but there's only so much that you can do with a 15-year-old cadet, and they were combat experienced already, so they're not entirely useless. Perhaps I'm being a little bit harsh. They're about as good as a 16-year-old girl with an automatic weapon can be, which is pretty fucking dangerous. As long as you're not a soldier yourself.
Suppressive fire.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I was just about to talk about school shooters, but I won't. But you get the idea.
Fair analogy, I'll give you.
You don't have to be that good when you've got automatic weapons and no one else does.
Very true. Never really get the opportunity to contract an army of school shooters, though, right?
I tend to get shot on the first mission.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Cambodia.
Yeah, Cambodia, they see a school shooter and they're like, shit, is this career day?
Fuck me, dude.
Something like that, I'm afraid. Something like that.
While everyone's in Bangkok, I want to go to the compound one day and see if G9's about.
Ah, yeah, you'll find her easily enough. Her attitude and demeanor don't seem to have changed much.
I want to ask you, what's the real story with the corpse here? What it was like? What we've been told is not what's going on.
But I guess this is negotiation. I can't think of any other suitable skill. You are a friend. She wouldn't talk to you about it at all, anyways, no matter how many successes you get. So, by being someone that you trust, it opens up the door, but it doesn't guarantee she'll speak. I guess it's a negotiation, right?
All right.
She doesn't have much respect for Fenway, so you wouldn't be able to pull him onto the negotiation, you know. Like,
all right. I'm gonna edge it.
yeah.
Woo, 3 successes.
3 successes is good. And it causes her to spill her guts as far as she understands it. Let me just see if I can find some information of my own to... Oh, here we go, the big picture. Alright. So...
I mean,
Before
I'll tell her what
Yeah.
we've already figured out beforehand. Like, you know, they said they pulled out for this, but we know that's bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, so this... I'll try to summarize it. So as we already know, or perhaps we don't know, Cambodia was divided into fiefdoms before the Khmer Rouge came along. Like, the capital, Phnom Penh, belonged to the Cambodian People's Party, which used to be communists and were Khmer Rouge and then became a democratic institution and now become a dictatorial, totalitarian regime that's lasted for 100 years. Call them whatever the fuck you want. They control the capital city. These are the oligarchs that have ruled the country for 100 years. So that's Phnom Penh, the capital. Sihanoukville is a coastal city. It's owned by Wuxing. They literally sold the city as a corporate enclave, and the whole city is now extraterritorial. It doesn't even belong to Cambodia anymore. Siem Reap was effectively under the administration of the AAA, so the United Nations ran the place. They called Angkor a heritage site, and that restricted government involvement. The government themselves couldn't then develop Siem Reap because the AAAs were effectively in control. And by that regard, the corporations basically took over the entire city of Siem Reap and Angkor and so on and so forth, administering it without the government's approval. And finally, Battambang was just impossible to administer. Too many people, too many locals, not enough corporate value, and so it's kind of like a bit of a mafia city. There are a dozen different local families essentially share power, like a conglomerate. Maybe not unlike the ancient democracies of ancient Greece and stuff like that. Not true democracies as we would understand it, more like oligarchies, but local oligarchies. And the rest of the country, the rice paddies, the jungle, everything else was just left to fend for itself. It was always an overexploited country, always. Centuries, long before the 20th century, even in the 19th century, the French were exploiting, and even before that, the Thais and the Chinese and everyone else, people have been raping the Cambodians for 1,000 years since the Khmer empire collapsed 500 years. The corporations basically enslaved the nation. Millions of people work for $2 million a day. They get up at dawn, they finish at dusk, they get their $2 million and do it all again every day of the year except for Buddha's birthday. The only real way to earn money, basically be a prostitute, possibly cultivate drugs or run guns or harvest wildlife was always pretty effective as well. You can get 100 million for a bear claw, as we know. So it was a lawless state, and the only people in charge were the biggest fucking leeches. The only thing worse than being in a totally anarchic state is an anarchic state where people are, the dominant powers are keeping this status quo in order to exploit it. The Khmer Rouge were a Maoist movement. Their commitment was to arming and feeding the population. They're popular with the peasants, as we have kind of worked out, especially the young men. They wanted to see this as a return to the golden age of the Khmer's empire. It became a nationalist movement. Khmer saw themselves as the only rightful rulers of the land, tried to end foreign occupation and return the country to a traditional values and practices. Now, G9 doesn't have any opinion on any of this. It's a story that's been told 100 times around the world, from the jungles of the Amazon to the Aboriginals of Central Australia to the Native American nations. None of this is exceptional to Cambodia. It's just that it was done so much more effectively and brutally. Like, in a way, Cambodia is not unlike what the Belgian Congo was like, where if you didn't produce enough rubber, they'd chop your fucking hands off to show that the rest of you better produce more rubber next time. It was just absolutely, utterly brutal. And so the Maoists were very popular because they're like, well, we're not going to chop your hands off, we're going to give you a gun instead. Well, I'd rather have a gun than lose my hands. And so it was very easy for the Maoists to morph into a modern Khmer Rouge. Now, corporate profits began to fall in Cambodia due to this insurgency. G9 doesn't understand what happened. She really doesn't. She doesn't know. But all that she does know is that the corps have pulled out voluntarily. This wasn't a government organised, or this wasn't the government ordering them out. And it doesn't make sense to her that they would just completely evacuate when there's still money to be made. Like, why shut the 7-Elevens? Why shut the car parks? Why shut everything down? Why not just shut down the big ticket malls, the Aries superstore, and keep a couple of local things running to at least cover costs? Because they're still having to pay for security, for example. And if there's one thing that corporations hate, it's expending money with no true return. So from her point of view, and this is just speculation, she thinks they saw an opportunity. They saw an opportunity to pull out of the country, cause it to collapse, and then move back in again. But this is just speculation. It's a lot easier to buy up a country that is in chaos. For example, the pyramid. Its price valuation dropped by 90%. That's a fucking bargain, and it's worth moving out of the country for 3 months if you're going to be making that kind of transaction a dozen times over. So yeah, from her point of view, it's ironic that you guys and she are here to stabilize the country, because in her opinion, the whole point is to destabilize.
Yeah. And then the Thai are obviously capitalizing on that current lack.
Yeah, the Thai were a wild card that she did not see coming, and this General Ayatollah motherfucker, she doesn't know what to make of him, but she fears him certainly more than the Cambodian government. The Cambodian government, the official Cambodian People's Party down in Phnom Penh, they were never able to extract control over this place. They certainly couldn't resist the corporations, that's for sure. But this Thai militant dude, he commands an army. He literally commands an army. He's also a member of parliament because the Thai government reserves like 200 seats of parliament for its military. And he's a senator within the parliament. So he's got political force, he's got military force, he's got ambition, he's got wealth, he's got real power. And she doesn't know if this is part of the corporation's grand plan or if he is a spanner in the works, but she certainly didn't see him coming.
And that's why we're being so closely observed, because they want to make sure we don't, that we do what they want.
Sounds right, yeah.
And it sounds like Chef is probably in on it.
It does, doesn't it? You know, like recruiting all these people from Bangkok. The drugs that he manufactures are going to go through Bangkok. They might end up in Neo Tokyo or America, but they've got to go through Bangkok to get there. So that's not necessarily a red flag that they are involved with each other, but it's
no, it's more
not unthinkable.
He has shares in Evo.
Yeah, shares in Evo, doesn't he?
So that's what it is. That's what his goal is.
It's his interest, yeah. So what's Evo's point of view? What is it? What does Evo stand to gain? G9 can't even speculate.
Cheap territory. Yeah.
Cheap territory, yeah, absolutely.
Exactly what she suspects, and Chef wants to make sure that Evo is the one who profits.
Yeah.
Which means that he's working with the Khmer Rouge to destabilize the country so that Evo can come in and take over afterwards.
It's almost too clandestine and complex for her to believe, but if there's one thing that the corporations are good at, it's playing the long game. Always win in the end.
Which means, so that that infestation we've got is probably corporate, keeping tabs on us. While I have her, I want ask her if I can have Clockwork's body released to me.
Assuming it's still on ice, yeah, she doesn't see why not. Where have we been storing him this whole time? Have we kept him in the freezer? Like I just assumed that we dumped him in totally sap or something.
Yeah, I think it's been disposed of already.
Yeah.
As far as I was aware, he'd been dumped in a freezer.
We kept him in a freezer before we extracted his wear, but afterwards we dumped him. I mean, if it's like, I don't want to sound like I'm pulling shit out of my ass just to keep you from investigating the body. I
thought you extracted the wear while you
I can't think why I would keep his body after I was
precisely. Done with him. You're too professional, right? It doesn't make sense to me either.
I mean, you didn't put him in a freezer before you extracted his wear, though, because you extracted his wear as soon as you took him out of the van.
Yeah, like I kept his body on ice until I could deal with it, but like once everything was wrapped up, I had no reason to keep it.
Yeah, but you extracted his wear immediately.
Yeah, I thought the body had been turned over.
And the freezer is being used at the moment. Like the body can't be in the freezer. Cause like, well, if it is, we turned the freezer off. Remember?
No, it was in a different freezer.
Okay. So that like the compound had like the one big one.
How's this? So the corpse has been gotten rid of. It's been disposed, but there is still like footage of it. Maybe it's grainy. Maybe it's still.
I didn't want to do anything with it. I just wanted to like turn it over to his family so they can give him a proper burial.
Oh yeah, no. Well, in that case, yeah, it's already gone.
I mean,
nice thought.
That I'll be questioning though. If he just died to an accident, why is his body not being?
And if we make group decisions, why did this get swept under the carpet? It's a legitimate question, you know.
Like that's a question.
On the other hand,
that's a question I'll be asking G9. Why don't you have his body?
Oh right. Well, she tells you quite frankly that it was never her business. It was always a Neo operation, and Neo took care of it. He, from start to finish, it was always him.
But I mean, as far as I'm aware, we haven't taken over operations of the morgue.
Oh, she has no comment on that. Like, she didn't question it. It just, she doesn't question you guys. Quite frankly, you guys have got a free slate. And if a body appears and then later disappears, well, you know, she remembers. She doesn't forget, but she doesn't ask questions. So she tells you everything. She tells you she quite likes you. And she tells you everything, but she quite likes Neo as well. And so she's not trying to sell him out by any stretch of the imagination. She's an honest cop. She's an honest cop. And so she tells you, yeah, from start to finish, what she understands. The body was in there, the cyber was pulled out, the body was dumped in a fucking river or fed to piranhas or something. Yeah.
She's an honest cop, and so much as that exists in the Shadowrun universe.
Exactly. But she's a German, kids. She's a German. She's not only an honest cop, she's also obsessed with infrastructure. and civil planning.
She's the woman that like betrayed Highway or whatever.
And highly efficient as well. Am I being racist at this point? Is it racist to call Germans efficient?
Absolutely not.
We sure could.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, I think that's about it then. See if she wants to get a drink when she gets off duty.
All right, she would love one. But not anything made of rice, please. Whiskey, please.
An actual fucking drink.
Exactly, a beer, anything. Not sake, not
beer.
rice vodka.
Nice German beer.
Nice German beer.
Do they have that kind of stuff at the hotel?
Yeah, at the Hilton they do. Yeah. Probably running low, but pretty hard to get resupplied. They have it.
All right, well, I'll tell her when she gets off to come to the hotel, and I'll tell them to reserve their stock, whatever they got.
Wait, this isn't a date, is it? She asks.
No, you said you wanted beer.
Just checking, she says, and yet when she comes, she's wearing makeup. Oh, I don't want to jump to conclusions or nothing, but she's got lippy on. You can't drink beer with lippy. What sort of woman are you?
Hey, she's a German, all right.
This is lippy from the future. That shit doesn't stain the glass, man. This is future lippy.
I think we have that lipstick these days, to be honest.
Do we? Yeah, I don't wear a lot of lipstick. Not these days, anyway. It's been a few years. All right. So she has a beer, and it might be during the beer that like a lot of the conversation goes on, and it's clear that she has a lot of compassion for people in general, and the Khmer, perhaps in particular. She turned up, and she kind of thought that they were kind of scum. You know, it's not hard to think that when they don't have any shoes and their shirt is covered in maybe literal shit. And they're bugging you to use their fucking tuk-tuks and to buy their bananas and their junk, you know. But it's grown on her in a strange way. In the same way as we can hate kids at the start, but we start to not just tolerate them but genuinely love them. They're becoming quite endearing to her, particularly Pelgrad's kids. Sorry.
Loving what now?
Yeah. It can happen. It can happen. Maternal instincts do exist even in cybernetic cops that are German.
Now this is getting worrying.
Is this racist to say? No, anyway, I was going to say something about Germans and not having any emotion, but I won't.
Honestly, I think that we're all about tired enough that we're not going to remember or care, so go ahead and say it.
Perfect.
I'm just concerned that she's starting to talk about children.
Well, yeah, it is a bit concerning, and she realised she might have gone too far. and scolds the rest of her beer and burps loudly.
That's just
She's
gonna
a man.
make it work.
I guess. Your insight check gets past her bullshit.
Hmm.
But who can blame her, man? Like this is not a good place to find a husband. I'm not saying that she's looking for one. All I'm saying is that you can't spend 3 months and not get the urge once in a while, even if you are a cybernetic German.
Hmm. Imagine if adding cybernetics actually changed your nationality, like at least from a political standpoint. Like, that would be such a hassle. Just like, oh, are you German? I'm cybernetic German. Get it right?
Come on. I identify as a Shadowrunner.
I mean, if you get enough cybernetics, you basically become German, like no matter what. You
Okay.
lose all empathy and become like a machine. You're like,
Are you
World War
German?
II German. Yeah.
German?
All
You
right.
think so?
I've always wanted to do a Mecha Hitler campaign.
I will be there the day you do.
Man, I guess it depends on where you repent, man.
Guess so. That was pretty gnarly. This is a side note. It's got nothing to do with the campaign, but just a little bit of trivia. One of the more reliable electrical brands over here is called, what's it called? German Tech or Germanware or something like that. The brand name, it doesn't come from Germany. It's built in fucking China. But they put German into the name of the business so that it looks like it's more German engineering or something like that. So hilarious. Like, they have no concept of false advertising.
That is so appropriate for Shadowrun.
It's hilarious, isn't it? Yeah. In my shower's German Tech.
You step in there, you know it's German tech. Oh, I can smell the ethnic cleansing.
Precisely. It's like a
Jesus Christ.
very gassy in there.
Yeah, my showers are German tech.
Yours, mine too.
Oh boy.
So we're gonna hit up this the zoo.
Yeah. I'm thinking like we have a bunch of mortars and HE rounds for them. We can set them up in advance, pre-target them, and just bomb the fuck out of the compound, and like essentially siege them. I think.
Did we keep the mortars, did we?
I'm not sure if the ties let you take them. I can't remember.
Let us take what?
The mortars from the airport.
They let us take the mortars. They just requested half the tank rounds.
Okay. And of course, the anti-aircraft gun, well, that would have been immobile anyway. What are you going to do? Put it in the front yard of the freaking Hilton Hotel? No.
Yeah, they were like, no.
Not the front yard. You put it on top. Fire it down.
But there's a pool on top. What are you going to put it in the pool?
Use the
Put it like a
employee
rack
That's pretty
outside
cool.
the infinity.
Man, imagine being that. Imagine being in a pool on the top floor of the Hilton Hotel, and you're literally floating on a military armed platform. That would be fucking cool. Every time it fires, you go deaf for like a week.
But that's how the waves are made.
That's the wave machine, German tech.
These two are like fucking tourists, like throwing a ball back and forth in the pool as the guy's like fighting off a fucking spider.
Improvise and adapt, gentlemen.
So we're gonna find some spirits. We're gonna sneak in. What's going on here? Finally use that railgun.
feel free to draw it on the map too.
If we're going to use the mortars, how many people do we have that can fire mortars?
Trey has a lot of skills. That's not one of them.
Yeah, what is the skill associated with mortar firing?
Probably
Heavy
heavy
weapons.
weapon. Yeah.
Yeah, possibly with insight, since it's I don't know this, but I can't imagine that agility helps much for a fucking border. You really need to guess the trajectory.
Mathematics. No.
Yeah, right.
It's all mathematics.
So would it be
Logic or insight or intuition?
Yeah, that's it. Look, probably
Logic or
intuition.
intuition.
Yeah.
Especially old mortar.
Yeah, and that's what
Intuition
these
is
are.
intuition is the mental equivalent of agility.
And it's like taking a good guess, right? Intuition is having a good guess, and that's what mortars are. A guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After you fire the first one, and you're gonna adjust.
The guessing
But I
isn't on
can
the
set up for
firer
a
side. As
It's a
someone
forward
who's as someone who's actually been a mortar forward observer, pretty in combat, the guessing's on the observer's side. The mortars are pretty. The math is known; it's a known quantity. So, like punching in the numbers the observer gives you, you're going to hit where the observer tells you to hit. But the observer could be wrong. So,
yeah,
well,
and that's where the adjusting comes in.
What I can do is set up some smart firing platforms and use a sensor system to get like target locks on what we're trying to fire on. Then I can either get an auto soft, like a targeting software for mortars, or I can try to do it with gunnery.
You might want to consider the objectives, like whether you're going to be bombing the crocodiles or the administration building or the clinic.
That's what I was going to ask next exactly is what are our targets? Where in the compound do we want to target?
Well, if they've been modifying animals, I mean, unless you want to sell them.
I mean, I think our main objective here is just to take out the leadership, right? So I think we should figure out where they are first, like before we make the assault, figure out where they're going to be during it, and make sure we take them out sort of firsthand. And after that, it's just mooks and animals.
They're kind of mobile and they don't stick to one place. Mahout is where the elephants tend to be. Chef, you don't really get a look at all. Death roll goes around the whole compound, feeding the animals. So that they're kind of mobile, basically. But
where did they sleep?
Where do they sleep is a good question. Let's have a look at the buildings. Maybe the guardhouse or something like that. The arrival. I think this arrival hall, this front forward administration complex where the car park is basically the headquarters. I think that's where the hospital is as well, the veterinary area. So that's probably the control center here. But there are a lot of other locations that they could be. Zoos are famous for having canteens and kiosks and staff rooms and back areas. To feed an animal, you've got to go into the back area, right? And you feed it from behind generally. That's normally how it's done. And so virtually every animal enclosure has its own internal area. Might have a refrigerator and a couple of tables, maybe a TV, that sort of stuff. In effect, a zoo is actually multiple workplaces all positioned into one. So where do they sleep? Probably in the HQ, but not necessarily. Mahout, for example, probably sleeps with the elephants.
Yeah, I'll keep my drone on distance surveillance using vision magnification and try to pick out our targets and figure out where each one routinely sleeps. Just where do they go at the end of each night and not come out?
All right, so target one is sleeping areas. Cool.
So it had been mentioned that they have fortifications that they've added. what do these fortifications look like? Like, what sort of equipment do they have at them? Are they towers? Are they like fortified bunkers? That kind of thing.
Good question. All right, let's have a look at this. Da, 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 da. That doesn't tell us much. They're pretty haphazard defenses. Things like old car bodies that are just blocking the main route, stuff like that. They're tank traps in the broadest sense of the word, but they're not real tank traps. They haven't built real towers, but they have observation posts. Like for 2 Nugan, stand on our observation post, look through our binoculars, and see the majesty of Angkor Wat, that sort of thing. So mostly they've just jumped on the roof and taken up some heavy duty iron with them, maybe a car door leaning up against an air conditioning unit. So it's very, very makeshift, but that doesn't mean it's not very effective. Steel is steel after all.
Right.
I'm picturing him using those those coin operated binoculars for
Yeah.
lookout. Keep beating every 30 seconds. Boss, I need more quarters.
But they've just broken it open, so they put the quarter in and it falls straight out again, but it gives them the 5 minutes of viewing. Yeah, it is just like that. Yeah. So yeah, you can consider there to be defenses kind of everywhere, but also kind of nowhere. Sun Tzu would not be happy at all with this because they're trying to defend everything, and as a result, they defend nothing. 50 soldiers isn't going to keep a place this big safe, right? No matter how heavily armed they are, and they are pretty heavily armed: machine guns, grenade launchers, armor, and the like. But there's just no way that 50 soldiers can possibly patrol 10 hectares, however big this is, 20 hectares. It's just can't do it. The airport was smaller than this place. It had 3 times the soldiers, 4, 5, 6 times the soldiers. One notable thing, though, is that the Shadowrunners, the bosses, they don't show themselves very often. You get glimpses of them almost daily, though you haven't seen Chef at all. But they don't just walk around providing, targets all the time. They don't have targets painted on their back. It's not that they've seen the fly spy or anything else. It's not that they know they're under observation. It's just that they either seem to think they're under observation or they're just playing fucking paranoid. And or maybe they're just dedicated to their work. They don't come out of the office.
Do they still have regular shipments coming in?
No, doesn't seem to, no.
So where are they getting their food?
Mostly from the animals. Yeah.
So
there is some coming in. They are bringing, but not regular. Yeah, so here's the key word. Rice is still coming in, hundreds of kilos of rice every week, but not on a certain day or at a certain time, not regularly. It's just, it's almost like tribute rather than,
Is fish still coming in?
Fish still coming in? Yeah, there'd still be fish coming in as well. They'd have to feed the animals somehow. They can't let them starve. So they would have to maintain some amount of meat coming in. Yeah.
Because I believe the fish was coming up the river. I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. There's probably a river, maybe a kilometre away from the facility, maybe even closer. It'd be pretty damn handy to have a river near a zoo like this. You've got a lot of water needs. So it's feasible to think that the river wouldn't be very far away, and a speedboat could just drop it off by the half ton.
Do they breed their own chickens or anything to feed the crocodiles?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They also use pigeons and basically anything else they can catch. Yeah, the river's we can be to the south. Here, there, it's right on the map there. Yeah, I didn't even notice it.
Even
There's
if
the river
that's
right there.
not the main river, they could probably bring like a flat bottom riverboat up there with
Precisely.
supplies.
Yeah. You know, they've been doing this for thousands of years. It's you chuck an outboard motor on a canoe and you're done. That's all it takes.
Yeah, or an airboat or whatever you have, especially in the rainy season. I bet it's even more accessible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it becomes, you know, a more reliable highway than the highway does.
So if we wanted to, we could cut off the food shipments and essentially siege the place out. Um, you know, it would put them in a really desperate situation before we assaulted, though it would put their guard up more than it is.
I mean, if death roll spotted daily, what if Ricochet just puts one in a dome, and that'll keep them buttoned down for about a week?
Yeah, just randomly take out one of their officers and don't do anything else. It would definitely put them on edge and maybe provoke a reaction.
Well, I mean, just, yeah, you're fucking sitting there eating at their nerves fucking days. And
Yeah.
if we also sabotage the boats from coming up,
Yeah, and then cut off their shipments, yeah, at the same
all the
time.
animals are going to get really fucking
So
hungry.
it's not
Everybody's
really
gonna be
like
on edge.
an assault.
Mhm.
We're going to do like a sustained like, I guess, stealth siege on them. I guess.
Good old-fashioned medieval siege.
I think we're going to
Fenway,
be
have you done
less
any
obvious
magical
with that.
recon?
What was the question, Ricochet?
Fenway, have you done any magical recon?
Not yet, but I can just just sort of fly over and have a look. Like, do you think that'd be worth it?
Yeah.
So assuming our way out, can I just
I mean,
check?
the last thing we want to do is turn up and then get ambushed by like 12 6 spirits or some
Yeah,
bullshit.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of mages hiding in there.
I suppose can I check it out from like
Yeah.
the astral
I
then?
can drive you up in the party bus and you can astrally perceive through the safety of the van.
You can even perceive from 10 kilometers away. In any case, you're able to assess it. Making a sensing check. Yeah.
I'll use my last edge because this seems important. Well, this has been a few days. I'll have that back, won't I?
Yeah. One edge per night, I think you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll put some karma into
for-
training up your sensing. It only take like a couple days at your rating, or a week or two, I think.
Yeah, skills is pretty quick.
3.
Yeah, especially
Okay.
if you have a low rating.
So there are a lot of beast spirits here. You don't know if they're being controlled or not. You don't know if they're wild, for want of a better word, free. I don't know what the term is. Anyway, there are a lot of beast spirits here. Not all of them are very powerful. Some are like Force 3, Force 4, but a few of them are more significant. But there's also a fair bit of background count, particularly around the veterinarian surgery. That's not that uncommon for hospitals to have low background counts because they're that far detached from nature. But it's also a pretty concerning sign when your hospital registers as evil.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does it feel like unnatural, like the pyramid, or is it like more like actual evil?
Yeah,
Like
it's
when you
more
walk into like a Peter Center.
Did you go with Neo to meet the ghoul doctor?
Godfather would not have
Yeah,
taken
probably
that
not.
to meet Dr.
I
Feelbad.
think so. I didn't think so. So maybe it's like maybe the nightclub's not too bad an idea. Or the compound, which is kind of unnatural and corrupt and full of shit. But yeah, I guess sinister is a word, as if things have gone on within that veterinary surgery that have been unholy and have resulted in damage to the astral signature of the area.
Like extensive experimentation on animals.
You got it.
And I guess if we observe a little bit with the beast spirits, do they? I guess do most of them like sort of come and go, like they're sort of free to, or are most of them like stay within the compound?
Seem to linger. Unlike the animals, who are obviously kept in cages, the spirits are free to wander, and they seem to enjoy doing so, for want of a better word. It's like the plains of the Serengeti, wandering around.
Okay. I mean, it's not too like with the spirits. Can you like just speak to them in the astrals? Be like, hey.
I think so.
Believe so, yeah. Like if you're astrally perceiving and you encounter something else that's astrally perceiving, you can do like a telepathy. I don't even think you need to speak the same language, if I remember correctly.
That makes sense. And these are animal spirits, so they're unlikely to speak many languages at all, but you can at least interpret them, and they can interpret you back. They're generally defensive. Not exactly hostile, but defensive.
Yeah, because
they don't want you encroaching on their territory.
yeah, I'm just gonna like just ask them like how long they've been here. Like, looks like a nice area, stuff like that. I think I've got a spirit affinity. Like, beast spirits tend to like me.
Ah, spirit affinity. That's what we need. All right. Yeah, that's much better. So, provides mission with additional spirit service, +1 for binding, but that's not what we're trying to do. We just want it to like
It
us.
says
Yeah, go
they
ahead.
may be. Says these spirits may find the character interesting, drawn to, or they may be more inclined to assist, or they may be reluctant to attack. But will still do so if forced by like other means.
Absolutely, or if they're defending their territory, which they
Yeah.
would be. So they make it pretty clear that you're not welcome here. Like they put you under no fucking false assertions that they don't want you, they don't like you, but at least they're polite enough to tell you because of your spirit affinity. So you can try querying with them, but it's not unlike going down the street, knocking someone's hat off their head, pushing them around and saying, hey, can you tell me how to find McDonald's?
Yeah, so I mean, if I'm clearly not well, I mean, I don't want to start a fight yet, so I'll just sort of bow out then.
All right,
be respectful.
all right. So yeah, you get a bit of information. It's not very useful, I suppose, but the presence of lots of these spirits who are quite defensive. It's like they've been wounded, right? You know, you shoot a lion and the lion becomes even more likely to attack than before it was wounded. That's what these spirits seem to be suffering from. Some kind of wound.
So it's kind of like, do I discover like, are they being like forced to be here? Like, because they might be bound.
They could be. They do appear to be fairly free to do so. If they're patrolling, then they're doing a shit job of them. If I was going to have my beast spirit patrol, I'd probably get them to patrol the perimeter. Pretty, standard practice, I imagine. Well, these spirits tend to linger around the animals, going from exhibit to exhibit.
Like, do they like answer if I ask who summoned them?
You can make a negotiation roll, but they're not inclined to, so you'll have a -3.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Three. That's edge. Never mind. I've got another point. I'll just keep that.
Sure. So they call themselves the spirits of the land. Yeah. They see themselves as natives.
And they're upset because like these beasts are presumably being mistreated by whoever's here.
You can assume that, but it seems like a likely conclusion. Yeah. Spirits are in touch with the astral, right? Obviously, and so any destruction to the astral, they take personally. It's like going into a bear's forest and burning the fucking forest down. Bear's not going to be happy. You want to blame someone.
Seeing as they're spirits of the land, they wouldn't be opposed if we came and tried to like take away the damaging influences.
They don't trust you, but the short answer is no. But your honeyed words don't fool them.
Okay, so I won't stay here longer than I need to. I've got sort of the answers I need, so then I'll leave.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll tell Godfather.
Barking deers bark at you as you leave.
I'll wave at them.
Barking deer. What the hell's that?
Barking
I'm
deer.
gonna have a YouTuber barking deer soon.
Yeah, I'll tell Godfather that there seems to be quite a few spirits, but most of them seem to be spirits of the land that are upset that that there's such misery here. Godfather?
He had a heart attack.
Okay.
We always thought that he wasn't that old, but it turns out he was 84.
I guess I'll drive the APC
Sorry.
back and crash.
You'll drive the APC.
I had to check something. You don't.
Like I just touched the steering wheel, and, like all four wheels explode.
My baby.
What did you just get the gist of what I just
Yeah.
said?
I missed the last like 2 sentences. you
Okay,
said.
it was. There seems to be quite a few beast spirits here, but they don't seem to be bound to any like summoners or anything. They seem to just be from the land.
Yeah, it makes sense they congregate here, I guess, considering like you got about 80 species, most of which don't belong. Probably makes this place pretty shiny on the astral.
And
Exactly.
Anything stand out?
yeah, the veterinary place seems to be quite damaging to the area around it. I don't think very pleasant things happening in there.
Yeah, no doubt some kind of fucked up cyber clinic from the looks of it. I mean, that monkey wasn't wired, but I wouldn't put it past him to do some shit to these elephants and stuff.
I suppose if we're going to take the place, like we can like, so we're going to be here long term. We can try to like fix this, can't we?
I mean, like, we take this place over. I won't stop you from trying to do what you want with it if that's what you're asking.
Well, that's cool. Anything else we need to do here?
I don't think so. You able to get a sense on where the chef was,
Oh, can I try that? Does it work like that?
or you could, or never mind. You haven't seen him before. You wouldn't be able to pick out his aura. Never mind.
Okay.
So, with these last few minutes that we've got, since I always have to head off at the very end of the game, let's work out what we're going to be doing next week. I assume we're hitting the place, but yeah, is that what we're doing?
I think so.
I think,
Well,
but it won't be
you know.
like. I don't think it'll be a direct assault. I think we'll be more like sabotaging the area for like a while.
Right, besieging it, cutting off the water supply or the fish supply anyway, hitting it with mortars. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
all that
not
kinda
using
shit.
our railgun
Yeah.
at this stage.
We may set
What
up
are we
Ricochet
saving
and
the
they can
railgun
purge
for?
Yeah, basically, if someone pokes their head out, whether it's one of the lieutenants or the chef, like just the first target of opportunity, we take the shot and like
Cool with that,
when
Ricochet?
Ricochet fades, we just let him panic.
Yep.
You're going to set yourself up as a sniper, and as soon as you get see one of the bosses, you'll pop them?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Does Mahout count, or are you specifically just going for Death Roll and Long March and the chef?
I'll leave that up to a party vote.
Did we or if we can retcon the astral recon
Sure.
last way to wait until Mahoon pops out and see if he has an astral reading or anything like that.
I'll see if he's either a mage or he's just an animal tender, and I guess the difference is quite important.
Yeah, he is awakened. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll tell.
Can you get a read on how powerful?
What was your sensing check?
It was a
3. Probably equal to Fenway in a rough stance. Yeah, roughly the same as Fenway or what was the other guy's name? Not Shay.
Omen.
Omen. Yeah. So a powerful magician, but not truly world class.
Is he as lovable as Finway?
I don't think so.
Definitely not.
He sleeps with his elephants. I mean, he's pretty quirky.
You got a point.
So, geek the mage first, or wait for
No,
someone
definitely
like Long March?
mage first.
Yeah, let's
Definitely
just
the
go
mage.
ahead and pick off their mage.
Should we ask that question about the elephant guy too?
It is the elephant.
The elephant guy is the mage.
Are there any other awakened people like that I could have noticed?
I thought Death Roll was.
No, he's not awakened. So just the elephant dude, just Mahmood.
All right.
And
so yeah.
we should find out where the Long March chick is set up.
Anyone with extensive cyber, other than Chef? Actually, we haven't even seen Chef, I don't think. But
Maybe
Yeah,
Chef.
Death Roll has cyber. Yeah.
quite a lot.
Maybe.
Yeah, enough that it affects his essence. Yeah, enough that it affects his essence noticeably from the astral.
Were you able to see Chef there at all, Fenway?
I didn't see him.
What about the?
Yeah.
What about the guy we sent there?
Oh, Mr. Mook?
Oh, that dude. Yeah. I guess because we know his signature, we can track him down, can't we? But do we really need to know his signature when we see his head mounted on a pike?
I mean,
I don't.
I guess not.
Only you can answer that.
One thing we should look out for is if Long March is here yet, look out for because she can probably hide herself physically and really well. And is probably dead on the Matrix, but unless she's got something ludicrous, she shouldn't be able to hide astrally.
I guess
So try to look around for an astral signature and like a sniper perch or some shit like that.
I guess this is like
With
what
three successes, he doesn't find anyone. As you say, she'd probably be in an obvious point, like an elevated position. She was last time, and so you scan through the trees and the rooftops, and there are definitely snipers up there, but there is no sniper that is hardened to the fucking extreme, and none of them that have the requisite signature that you're. Yeah, absolutely. If she knows what she's doing, then there is really nothing stopping her.
and from
She
the looks
could
of things,
have some sort of
she does know what
fucking
she's
tech,
doing.
you know?
At least
So yeah,
we now have
you
more.
can't see her, but that doesn't mean she's not there.
I guess we now have more propaganda to use against Brian, because we could just say, well, I mean, we let another one of you go and they just executed them. So I mean, the same's probably going to happen to you now.
You're right, and you might also recall that Wang and Long March have what could be called a friendship.
I mean, at least Brian seems to like Long March quite a bit.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. Yeah.
We don't know if it's mutual.
Or
No.
mutual respect, at least, anyway.
Yeah, but they've got to be closer than she is to Chef. Put it that way. All right. Well, it looks like we've got something of a plan: a medieval siege, some long-range sniping, selective sniping, presumably followed by a direct assault. Yeah.
I suppose I've got like, which of the characters are like good at like guerrilla warfare, for, like jungle, like to deal with the snipers?
You guys answer that because I'm about to head off. But first I'd like to say thanks for Query for coming along. Thanks, Bernie. Hope to see you again next week. Hope that you enjoyed it.
Welcome.
Everybody say goodbye to the internet, people. Goodbye, internet people.
I